practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.
Welcome to the Adam Dunn Show. I am your host, Adam Dunn, and yeah, we're late. Sorry, guys.
This is on time.
And actually during that period of lateness, I came up with a brilliant plan.
Ooh, I love it. Uh-oh. Light bulb.
We're going to start to provide pure Dongle time. It will be set up to about 10 minutes. I'm going to do a good 10-minute. We're going to put together a bunch of crap for 10 minutes so that people have something to watch while they wait for the show. And then that will be the most popular part of the show. No one will ever want to watch our show again. They'll be like, fuck it, after Dongle time, it sucks. Once that guy starts talking, it's like the worst show ever. But that first 10 minutes...
Which guy?
The best. So yeah, we're going to we're going to try. And if anybody out there who does editing and wants to do cool shit, just send us cool shit. And then we'll have extra cool shit to fucking show. And then it'll be like, this show's great. Something short and sweet. It has to be real short, like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Maximum 5 minutes, let's say, because otherwise it gets stupid and take up all the time.
And if we can smoke it, even better.
Just anything, weed related, whatever related. And something just weird that when you're all high, you all watch. Because they used to have, back in the day, remember when there wasn't podcasts and people fucking just had weird shit? Like, hey, let me show you my weird shit. I always had the weird, who has the weirdest shit? I got weirder shit.
Come over to my house, man. I gotta show you the shit.
I had the weirdest shit. Yeah. Like, always, like, tried to, and everyone had, like, oh, dude, I have fucking faces of death. And you're like, what?
Oh,
like, that was, like, the one everybody had. Like, that was, like, the throw your card down, faces of death. I was like, I got worse. Like, what? I got the real. It was always just something just bizarre and disgusting.
You never watched Faces of Death?
I think I sat down once, and somebody told me what we were going to be watching, and I went, I got to go use the bathroom, and I never fucking came back. So it was one of those you don't even say, by the way, I'm a big pussy. I don't want to watch people getting fucking killed, so I'm going to leave. You just get up and walk the fuck out.
Big pussy. Exactly. You've always been the same.
There you go.
There we go.
The epitome of the exact same guy.
Don't expect anything different.
So anyway, we have live here in studio. Of course, we have Mr. fucking... We're just calling you Dave now, or are we going?
Sure.
Dave. Everyone likes Dave because everyone knows, like, if you're not here, it's Dave's not here. Everyone's a genius.
Look, there's a dog here.
Oh, there's always a dog.
We have a dog.
According to the kid, there's always a dog in every studio. If there's not a dog in the studio, it's not a real studio.
Oh, okay.
That's the kid's theory.
That's the kid's theory.
So that noise, that's the dog. Get out of
It's
here.
coming to life in front of us.
That's good.
It's okay. It's okay.
You should have a dog cam.
Oh, is that chocolate? Probably is that chocolate? It looks like it is chocolate. Of course, it's chocolate.
Chocolate covered grapes.
It's chocolate, meaning that Mr. Rasta Rob is rolling around with his pack of wolves. He's got a pack of wolves.
Oh, we do.
We have a whole pack.
Oh, the dog's name is Chocolate. Is that right?
Yes.
Nice.
Chocolate's good. Chocolate's a good dog.
Chocolate's getting his butt scratched, right?
Yeah, Chocolate's old.
Chocolate just licked my knee. I'm in trouble now. I'm going to get home. My dog is going to smell it. And they're gonna
no, my dog will go nuts. He'll smell a dog and he loses.
So we have Dave in the corner.
Hi, everybody.
And we have Dave. We have Dave and Dave. Dave and Dave. We have David and Dave.
There we go. You can go. I'll be David.
David is way better.
I was David.
It's longer.
It's always been better.
Hey,
you can tell everybody.
I was David before the cannabis industry, and then I reinvented myself, and I switched it to Dave.
Have you ever gone by Davey?
No.
Me neither.
When my mother was pissed off at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never even got that.
Davey. Oh, fuck, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, I would get the full name. And he's like, David McAlena. It was like, oh, Jesus. Okay.
Oh, sure. Right. No, that was my grandmother.
But yeah, I never went by Davey. You know what? I don't trust a Davey. Don't trust him.
No.
Yeah.
The Crockett guy with the hat?
What the fuck are you doing with that hat? Seriously,
it's
the weirdest thing. Yeah.
I don't know.
You got like a
you guys could have a whole Dave fucking show.
That's true.
But so you're the editor-in-chief of THC Magazine?
I'm actually not the editor-in-chief anymore, but I am the founder of THC Magazine.
Do your research first.
No, it's okay,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
I was. So for the first half of its life, we've been around for over 8 years now.
It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? It's super crazy. And so... when we started, actually, we're not even considered THC magazine anymore. We're actually HC magazine.
What? They dropped the T?
We dropped the T. You know what? We went to, it was the evolution on the print side of things. We still obviously are firmly happy with marijuana.
Now you just come out with a magazine called T.
I know we should just do T, and it's like, but we still cover all of cannabis. But one of the things that we realized, we went to a national magazine, and we were selling it in Barnes and Nobles. And when you looked at the shelves, there was everybody up there was like, it was Weed World and of course High Times and Skunk Magazine. And I was like, everybody's focusing on the marijuana end of the coin when it comes to cannabis. And from the very beginning, we were always the hemp connoisseur. And so we kind of wanted to just let people know, like, you know what, hemp is. If you divide cannabis up into a pie of its usages, THC is just a sliver of that pie. And so we kind of wanted to say, look, we're going to cover all of cannabis, but hemp actually makes up more of all of the needs that we have in the planet for cannabis. And so we dropped the T to kind of attract more of the larger hemp companies that were coming on board and let them know, look, we still talk about marijuana, but it just made people easier to come in.
I get it.
Totally get it. I changed my LinkedIn profile years ago from dedicated cannabis industry expert to dedicated cannabinoid industry expert.
There you go.
But now you're right back to cannabis. You're fucked up.
No, I'm there.
Come on, dude.
Well, it's all cannabis, though, right? I mean, that's the thing.
You don't care anymore.
Nope.
No worries.
But it's all cannabis. I think that's the thing that we need to tell people is hemp and marijuana are both cannabis.
Shh, don't tell. No. We don't want to let the other guys know. The mainstream people actually think that the hemp being grown out there is actually hemp. But
It is. But yeah, I get it.
I broke a rule.
No, I mean, it's just...
Like all the rules. Anyway, it's when the focus turns, like I always say it on the when the focus turns away from CBD, and everybody gets all smart ass and it's like, what about CBG? All that shit's fucking fall. Every year that shit instantly folds because everyone's already set up and ready to go. It's not like they have to do anything to just switch gears.
Absolutely.
So they're like, oh, you want? Is that what you want? Boom, put that down.
Yeah.
In 90 days, everybody's king again. So it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh, that shit's old. That's so last 90 days.
It is, but
like, that's how it's going to turn. Everyone's going to be like, oh, fuck, we got to keep you got to keep moving. Everyone's like, CBT is the big hot.
Well, now there's THCP. Have you guys seen that one yet?
CBD EFG.
Yeah, right.
and these different cannabinoids have their own, some of them are probably going to turn out to be really cool, but they're also like, the real key, I think, would be to grow. Why don't we just grow fields of stuff and really push the limits of the 0.3 on the fucking acreage and be like, oh yeah, I got some fucking fire 8-foot tall plants with no branching on the side and huge buds on top, but I got 10,000 acres of it and it equals 1 billion pounds, and you're like, what do you need? Like what? Raw?
Stop trying to scoop my news. I got a good news story for later about what
of course I'm going to scoop all the news.
No, don't scoop that news. That's the good one, man.
How my brain works.
That was the nugget.
I've already scooped the nugget. That's how my brain works.
Okay.
Anyway, that's how it works. Now, I've already said that for a long time. I think you just got to look at hemp in a different way, which is what I think that was your guys' because we were on the, so guess whose products were on the cover?
Very first cover ever. That's fabric of the future.
Who was it? Dixie?
Come on now.
No, and it's funny because only in the first 2 issues did we even have like a human being like featured on the cover. In the second issue, we sold it, like they paid for it, and then I was like, I'm never doing that shit again. I'm never selling our cover. And other people do it, but it's just like, but for your guys, it was the way we wanted to enter the market.
Well, we had Kim Sidwell first of all taking the photo. So we drove up to Lake Dillon, and we had a really cool day up there. Had a good photo shoot. Colorado-fied it. Colorado-fied the whole thing.
Totally.
And that was a good cover.
It was.
It's funny because the model kind of looked a little bit like Cece, so everybody thought it was Cece.
And she did look a little bit like her.
And there was like a combination where like we have the cover because we have the picture on our wall.
Yeah.
And every single person goes, "Hey, is that Cece?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, totally could be."
I can't remember her name. I ended up getting to meet her. It was kind of funny.
She was like a skier or something.
She was, right? Yeah, but she was a model. She was beautiful. Yeah. And it was funny because I was still bartending at Castleman's when I was producing the magazine. I wasn't paying myself, so I had to bartend to make my money. And then we were like letting the company build. And I actually ended up getting her really drunk. Somebody came in and I looked at her. I was like, "Wait a minute, you're on my cover." And she's like, what? She's like,
I'm not being creepy, but
I know, I'm really not being creepy, but I know
I have
you.
you on my wall in my room. I do. I am being creepy. But listen, you look
hundreds of copies of your face.
Can you sign one for me, please?
I know, right?
To the love of my life.
But no, she was really sweet.
All her employees or whatever are like, I didn't know she was at a pornos. Instantly.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, then we stopped doing it because we sold the next one to Mr. Nice Guys, and it was kind of a nightmare because then you're not making your magazine anymore, like if, and
I think and the whole idea of magazines is like super hard. I mean, you almost got to like do a quarterly and just do a really good one,
and that's what we do.
Yeah, is that what you
We're now quarterly. We did. We started out quarterly.
You started as, and then you went,
and then we went monthly local here. Yeah. And dude, it was like
it's hard.
Honestly, it sucked. I mean, because it was.
It's cool if it's local and it gets paid for by like a bunch of sponsorship, and you can kind of give it away and not give a fuck. Then it's all right. But that's about the only thing you can do with weed shit.
And that's really what it was.
Everybody just gets that vibe.
But it's a lot of work just to keep that monthly bitch alive. And we were running through 40,000 copies a month because they're free. But we also, people don't realize, we were delivering them ourselves. So I was spending 10 days a month conducting business, trying to do sales in my car as I'm driving all over Colorado to every dispensary. And we had other drivers help too. But we were hitting 800 locations. And so that grind sucked. It really did. And then we realized it is exactly what you said, Adam. We went to a quarterly model on a national magazine, and for 1 year we did 16 magazines, which sucked. And then now we're just doing 4 a year. We make sure that they're super special, and I feel like nobody else does what we do the way we do it. And now, it's kind of nice. It gives me more time to do we have our own podcast that we're launching and we're doing.
Hey, whoa!
I know, right?
What the hell, man?
It gives me time.
Broke one of Adam's rules.
I did.
Holy
what was
shit.
Adam's rule?
I don't know. Just anything that sounds like you might be breaking a rule. Just say you are, and you usually are.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But it allows us to.
You have a nice studio, though?
You know what, man? I built a standalone television studio in my backyard. And so it's about 200 square feet. So it's actually, the whole studio is bigger than this, but it's a different setup. Like, we have 3 cameras on arms that we can move anywhere we want, like they're telescoping arms. And
so do we.
Yeah. And then mine are hanging from the ceiling. Yeah.
Ours too.
Yeah, they are. No. Oh, there it is.
You are on the ceiling. You don't even know it.
I didn't even realize. I had some good weed I haven't smoked yet.
Yeah. Typically, I jarred up some bud to bring some sour fucking
sour. You got some sour?
Birthday boy's coming soon.
I have a little bit that he left me. It was kind of nice. The thing is, when people leave you weed and you're not totally fucking dying for weed, and you just stash it away, and then you forget about it. Yeah. It was really like a month ago. And all of a sudden I was like, what are these bags of weed? And I was like, oh, these are from the bro.
They're from the bro.
So you knew. One of them was local and one of them was...
These are Champagne problems. These are Colorado problems. I know. I have too much weed to get through it. I have too much weed. I can't get through it.
Welcome.
Come on in. How you doing? Jump on in. We got full house now. And now it doesn't matter that Chris the plant is late because,
we filled.
We double filled, yeah. First we thought you were coming, then I was stoked you weren't going to be here because I was like, now I have the right number.
Oh, really? Oh, so is 4 fuck it up? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't really want you here.
No, okay. That's cool.
No, of course.
Is it
no, you're...
You're going to play him off? What? You're not going to play? Shut the fuck up.
Just kidding.
Can you? Let's talk about your magazine and the competition going on and the judging that we're doing.
Let's talk about the modern fun shit. Yeah, let's go fun. Let's go fun.
What's the fun? Okay, so the modern fun shit. Yeah, so we're doing. We're in the midst of the championship. Chris, you're a judge, right?
Mike, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not a judge.
No, you're not. Oh, I'm sorry.
Chris. See?
That's not Chris. See the sunglasses. Everything fucks me up. Man. Everything fucks me up.
You couldn't tell. You could. Yeah, you could have been bald. You could have been bald.
You could have been, dude. It could have been terrible. I know.
You got a sick.
All right, so we're doing our eighth annual THC Championship. Although actually, it's not really annual. I can't really say that anymore because we didn't do 2019. Because there was a flower shortage when we were going to throw the competition, and nobody could enter. There's 2 entries in Rex Hybrid to this year. It was just like, because people were like, dude, we're out of weed, and so it's kind of hard to do a cannabis competition without the cannabis, and so we delayed it, and then we're doing it. We do it at the beginning of the year now. Every year we're starting it this year that way. So because people don't run out of weed in January.
Yeah, but if they get to know when your competition is going to actually happen, they can use the time and actually plant the fire they want.
You have to do it's like a rule of thumb, 3 months, just to give them like the.
That's exactly right. No, you do.
If you give them the day, and then you're out of then you're out, and then you're off the hook.
But we always
come
did
in
it
with like I'm doing a cup tomorrow. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
No,
your high times.
That's actually what High Times did this year. But and that was the thing. So we had like a few people who were like, yeah, man, I can still compete. We have enough flour. But most people were like, no, we can't. And so then they were like, well, can you just delay it like 2 months? And all the people who were ready were like, don't delay it 2 months. You got to delay it 3 months. And I was like, I agree. But we were already planning on doing it this time of the year for the next one. And I was like, then you're going to have like back-to-back competitions. And that's just stupid. So we just said, screw it.
Like High Times. And I was like, ding.
What do you mean? Didn't we count, right? What was it? We did the math. It was, they had 3 cannabis cups in 45 days in 3 different states or something like that.
And all announced 2 weeks before.
It was, and we got the email about it, and I was like, they're doing it like that. I'm like, and I immediately knew. I was like, I know what it takes for us to do what we do in our competition. And I was just like, there's no way you're going to do a professional, effective competition in that short a time period.
It's not possible. And
it's not.
The true, the laughable part is that 2 of the 3 were in non-smoking venues. And Colorado and Las Vegas were or Colorado and Portland were non-smoking. We were the 2 of the first states to legalize, but yet
it's harder though.
I put Danko on the spot last week. I told him, I said I couldn't even hand him a joint at a Cannabis Cup in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah,
I couldn't hand Danny Danko a joint at the Cannabis Cup because we were in a non-smoking venue.
But what venue can you do it in? Like we found ways around it. Like early on, Adam's house. We get like 800 to 1,000 people at our awards party though. And so to find a venue that you can have consumption at for 800 to 1,000 people, but also do it the way we like to do it. Our awards party is a black tie event, right? I mean, cannabis black tie. We try to keep it that way.
Well, I mean, you guys do try to keep it like, within the guidelines of the monocle. The monocle. You have to go
monocle. Exactly.
You're going monocle.
We're going monocle.
You have to
go.
Look,
nobody else was doing it.
Angle, right?
That's always been our angle too. Is like, look, there is the great festivals where you can go ahead and consume, and like we love those. But then this one, it was an event that was really for like our judges, absolutely. But really, it was a lot for the owners. You know what I mean? Like they want to be there. They want to see their team like win an award, and it's like really motivating for those guys when they do win that award. It's like it's a great feeling. Like we interviewed I'm interviewing the competitors right now on another podcast, and
they don't come around here, man.
I know. Well, we'll tell them to. But the point for me was this was a chance for people to show, hey, we've elevated the image of this industry to another extent too. There's all these different sects of the industry, and people want to have those upscale places just as much. So that's kind of what ours became. We still found ways around consumption, whether it was, we're across the street from a cannabis club where you can, VIPs can go over there and do it, or we rented out buses where they can in the street. But they keep stopping that kind of shit, not allowing you to do it.
It's crazy how Colorado has not embraced the reality of just like tourism would have jumped already like probably 20%, 50%, maybe more.
Easily.
Just because people would be like, fuck yeah, I'm going there. There's 10 different places you can go.
But nobody really has figured out how to have public consumption yet.
It's weird. Like it's, I was saying to somebody today, I was like, I think it's more like they're all like meth houses or something like that. You're like, what the fuck is the point of having like they showed this thing online with, I don't know, Wayward Bill was sharing it, and it was like bodega, and it was like the dirtiest bodega sign, all hand sprayed, and it was like future home of cannabis shop. And I was like, why would you even leave that crappy sign up to show how horrible it is? Instead of just like take that down and show a big empty building and go, new spot.
Yeah, show us that before, after, later, right? Where you like see like this, this is the crap.
Don't just show us some dirty bodega sign. That looked like the guy almost misspelled it, but he didn't quite do it. Or he wasn't sure about himself, and it was kind of like a bubble letters and shit. It was fucked up. But it was like, that's some shit right there. I was like, that's some. Some bullshit. Some
well,
greenwashing.
Yeah, but finding consumption is hard. We've been able to like be like, hey man, they're gonna go out in the parking lot, they're gonna fucking smoke. Can you just deal with that, people? And most people are like, yeah, but it's tricky. So yeah, we just make it an awards party.
It's weird because
can you not just have a tent? What is wrong with a tent? A ventilated tent where undercover
Sometimes.
you heat it.
Sometimes
there shouldn't be any problem with this. It is remarkable to me of the tax dollars we're losing out on right now.
Well, and I agree with you. I think there's certain events for that. Like for us, when we would take a break, we can't even take a break because there's so many categories now that we have to do like a run through of the whole competition or awards. And if we want to get it into like an hour and a half, we want to bang it out because then we want people to be able to party and celebrate or whatever. We used to say, okay, man, let's take a break, and then everybody would go outside and smoke, and then you'd be like, all right, everybody, let's come on back in, and because the room would clear out and be nobody, and then you're like trying to get everybody back in. All of a sudden, the awards party would take like an extra hour. Like imagine the Oscars, and everybody took a break to go smoke some weed, and like think how long that shit would be.
Why do you have to take a break? Why can't they just have bongs at the
But
tables?
that's exactly what I'm saying. They weren't allowing that. There's nowhere we could do that. Believe me, I would love to be able to just let them consume there. Whether it's bongs or vape pens or whatever they are allowing in the venue.
Let's bring into the conversation our dude from Area 420, Mr. Mike. Is it a Biggio or how do you
Biggio, yeah.
Biggio, all right, cool.
Biggio, where you from?
Well, originally Queens, New York.
I'm from Flushing.
Okay, all right. Yeah, my parents moved me out here when I was young, so I've been out here most of my life.
All right. You got your parents' accent, though. I can hear that East Coaster in you.
That's a little touch, right?
Yeah, man.
It's funny because and I grew up in Sunnyside, so there you go. We're all over. We're all over.
Transplants.
From Sunnyside?
Yeah, well, that's my grandmother's from Sunnyside, so I'd go there, kind of between there and my mom was in Manhattan for the time, and I go back and forth. I'd be like living large up in Manhattan, back to Sunnyside to the fucking grandma's. I'd be like, oh shit, up the fucking scary stairs and to the fucking scary spot. I'd be like, fuck. And when I went back to my dad's funeral, I was like, as I'm walking just from the train to the house, 2 blocks to go to the house, I saw a guy get hit in the head with a bottle, and a bunch of kids run up and rob him, and then walked down the street and saw some chick getting fucking prostituted out and some dude slapping some other chick, and then walked into this place. And
for those of you just joining us, we're a happy cannabis show.
And was like, damn, I'm so glad I didn't grow up here. Well, this is a fucked up place. And that was when I was like 21 years old or something like that. I was like, came back from Amsterdam, flew into that, and was like, fuck, imagine if I was stuck here with all these people. I was like, that would have been a totally different place.
No.
It didn't turn nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, on a nice note.
Yeah, but no. The other problem with these cannabis venues is it's going to be really, and that's why they you have these bodegas and they don't look that great. Is they can't sell cannabis there, and so
I don't think they have to. I think they just have to be smart about it.
No, you can only sell beer and alcohol because nobody's ever.
No, they won't let you do that. That's
do
what I'm
that.
saying. If you have a consumption license where you can be a venue that has it, then you can't have alcohol, but you can't sell cannabis there. So now it's like you're just catering to like rave kind of people where you're like, hey, here's our place. Do your drugs before you come in here, or you can bring your weed in, but you ain't getting anything else if you want it. There's no mixing of anything, and so it's hard for those places to make money. Then they have to charge you like a membership fee or some shit, and most people don't want to do that. So
You just have to be really smart about it. That's
you
what
do, but
They were doing that in Colorado Springs for a while. I think they might still be.
Yeah. In fact, Colorado Springs, which
But it
is
turned all
weird.
dirty. But it turned all dirty there too.
Did it?
I never went in there. And isn't public consumption coming now to Colorado, as I understand it?
Denver, it is. They voted it in, but it's kind of being slow rolled.
Municipalities have to agree to it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is something we're going to be working on down in our neck of the woods, down in Moffat.
Okay, yeah. But Colorado Springs has done it, which is surprising that they have, honestly, because they still haven't opened up to rec. But they do have consumption clubs.
And that's the argument we're making. We have these guys operating. They can't consume inside their facility.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to consume in their cars either, so they need someplace legal.
Well, yeah, if you're a tourist, where are you going to go?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
So let's introduce you properly though. As far as Area 420 is like I said in Moffat, Colorado, and it's a small town, like 155 people. You said or something like that. Or?
Like 115.
115. Last 40 people got killed last week. It's so out of control. It was 155 a week ago. Now it must be down to 115.
No, I think it's grown. We can't. Oh, it's growing by a couple. Well, and if you take into account the people that have come into the Area 420 complex, you can probably actually
add 20 more people.
Well, what is the Area 420 complex?
Yeah, let's break this shit down. See, we got the eerie background for you and everything. It looks good. It looks like
here we go.
Proper.
So Area 420 is a 420-acre farm with water rights that we acquired. It was in the county of Saguache. We've gone through the annexation process to bring it into the town of Moffat because the county they're just insane. They didn't want to play ball. The town of Moffat has been an awesome host to what we're doing. The mayor, the board, the whole town is behind this. So what we did is phase one was 100 acres that we annexed last year. We took these properties, we cut them up into 1 and 5 acre lots, and our whole thing was kind of coming in. Right now the state's flooded out, and for those that want to get into this industry, it costs a fortune, and a lot of the municipalities aren't even offering licensing, so you're stuck buying somebody else's facility, and these guys are charging $1 million, $2 million to get in. So our whole pitch was these are for the guys like me that were, coming from the underground. I did 8 years in prison. This is the first year I'm actually going to be allowed in the industry. So that was kind of our focus. And guys would come in and, we'd in-house finance these lots. The town was very supportive. And they would get their licenses and get going. This was the first year for everybody. And it was interesting. We had guys from every walk of life come out here, and it's not easy to start these operations. It costs a lot of money. A lot of these guys aren't builders, they're growers. And going into phase two, we're looking to take this into a new direction, and that's where this whole social equity comes in. So this is something that's really sweeping all the states that are getting into cannabis. It's something that people are finally starting to take into consideration. Our new governor, Polis, has really helped change a lot of the policies.
Hey, golf clap for Governor Polis.
Yeah,
He's done a lot for this state.
It's been awesome.
One of my only times that I voted, and I was like, bam, we're like 2 for 2 on this one, and then of course I missed the next one, which was a big one, but whatever. That one didn't quite work.
Yeah. Oh.
So the state is rolling out a social equity program. A lot of other states have done this. Colorado's late to the ball game here, and they're finally realizing that now and looking to catch up. Actually, this last Valentine's Day, I went to the accelerator meeting over at the Med, and I was blown away. It's a whole new Med. Anybody that's worked with the Med knows they used to be less than easy to work with, but I think under Governor Polis's direction, they really have turned a new leaf, and they're making programs like this possible. So for phase two, this is what we're looking to get into. We're no longer going to be selling lots. I was able to go to my investors and somehow talk them into getting less money later than running the program that we have been running, but they're awesome, and they're in support of it. And now this is all in the works right now. Like I said, the state just started this. So in conjunction with the state, the town of Moffat and Area 420, we're going to be working with people that, like me, were impacted by the war on drugs, minorities, women, and people that come from a bad socioeconomic background, didn't have the funds to get into this. And I think this is a big issue, especially in Colorado. We're seeing, this industry was built on the backs of our culture, of those of us that sacrificed for this. And there's a lot of guys out there getting rich on this that they want the culture that we have, and they're trying to buy it, and it's not working out. And we're seeing that happen now. And finally, here's an opportunity to get a lot of the guys in that didn't have a chance to get in before. And I'm leaning into this as heavy as I can. I'm not gonna stop until we can get these guys in and get the rest of the people that are still in prison. The hypocrisy is fucking nuts, and it's got to stop.
Do you guys do anything to work towards commutation of sentences for people? Are you guys doing any on that activism front?
I haven't yet. So it's funny, when I got out of prison, I started a company called Ex-Cons for Hire. And the whole program, when I was in prison, they give you this piece of paper and say, hey, here's some tips on how to get a job. And one of those that caught my eye was the work opportunity tax credit. And that's a tax credit for the employers that hire people. So I got into the program of that. The point I'm getting at here is we haven't gone that direction yet. Going down that road really taught me that when you're in bed with the state on that level and looking at funding, there's only so much you can do. And that if you tackle it from the private level in conjunction with them while keeping that core private, I think it's a lot more effective. But I have reached out to the Last Prisoner Project, a couple of the other operations. There's a lot of work being done on that right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that way. Yeah, because it's like
it's just you and me now, I guess.
I guess
well, you're not smoking.
I'm not smoking the flower. I've got this amazing golden glue.
I got you.
From 14er. It's their 10th anniversary today. Happy birthday, 14er, by the way.
Happy
Golf
birthday.
clap to the 14er people. Pull that graphic up. If you're in Boulder, go by now. They're still open. And grab some most amazing deals right now. But this was golden glue. We have the Truth, Star Tribe, and Straw Nana tonight.
Well, I thought you were bringing some competition stuff.
I did.
I am doing my competition.
Mine's all sealed up and waiting. I was basically like,
You wanted to do the box.
I opened up the first one and I was like, all right, this is like, I'm done. So I had to kind of like hold back.
You got it.
And then I'm waiting for. See, right now I'm waiting for Chris LaPlante because he has a different category. Because
does.
I was hoping we were going to all come together like Voltron,
Right.
with our pieces and be like,
Oh, you're so dating yourself.
what?
And kids out in the chat room, know Voltron? You watch Voltron back in the 80s?
Come on.
Yeah, I think they brought back Voltron, didn't they? Or something?
I'm
It's
sure they
to-
will.
it's
if
terrible.
If they,
Is it?
It's
not-
gotta be-
I
it's
tried
not
to
the
watch
same,
it. It's
right?
totally
Okay,
terrible.
Got it.
It's just like some
CGI bullshit.
Transformer.
Yeah,
shit.
I'm
Exactly.
47 this year, and I make so many
Youngster.
references in this industry that people are just like, what?
Go do some work for us. Shovel the walkway then. youngster.
He's young.
I do shovel though. I have a 93-year-old neighbor, so I'm always like shoveling her walkway, and I'm like, wait, who's the youngest person on this block? That person needs to be doing this shit.
Yeah, well, yeah. You're if you got 90-year-old neighbors, you're pretty much out there.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's you
no,
for a while out there.
Oh no.
Gotta wait
She's
till
sweet.
move some young people in.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Wanted young people.
We need some younger
Please.
neighbors to help her.
Please.
No, it's just funny because you're like, I got a shovel. It's like, no, I got a shovel. I got like a lot to do.
But yeah, to bring together that many growers, I mean, there's a lot of sort of other things you have to think about too. I think when it comes to, I mean, obviously IPM would be key and having it kind of centralized maybe, and somehow like make sure someone goes to every single unit and double checks every time, or every single area, or however it's spread out, just so that way there's no like hidden disasters going on where it's like.
It's like a bathhouse from the 80s, you know? I mean, is it, how do you, what is your protocol
It's
for...
like a bathhouse. Now who's dating? Who the fuck is dating who right now?
You know?
Bathhouse in the 80s? I mean,
Well,
in the 80s,
because
I
everything's
was
getting shared with
10
everything,
years
right?
old. How old were you?
Well,
you were
shut the
like you
fuck-
were not old enough to be a bathhouse.
I was referencing it. Jesus.
You're old enough to
Mother-
reference it.
Wow.
You're old enough to
Yeah,
reference
man.
it.
Wow. Now we know where you are.
Yeah, well, I'm
Hanging
following
out.
your lead, man. You know, I'm following your lead. I'm good
No, you
co-host.
skittered off into the gutter.
Into the depths of
Yeah.
depravity. No, but what
I'm
do
looking at
you
my
do
beard.
in
I'm
Area
looking at my
420?
beard on that picture, and I'm like,
Like we
holy
were talking,
fuck,
so
this
yeah,
thing is
so-
getting-
so it
something
is-
happened.
A big part of it is IPM.
I know what it
mean,
was.
In the area
I'll
that
tell
we're
you.
in, these problems don't exist in the environment per se. It's always people bringing them in. So, now getting from licensed facilities, everybody has to check their genetics. It's not the days of your buddy bringing stuff in. So there's that. There's decontamination. But I think the main thing that we're going to be rolling into, and I was talking with you, is just starting from seeds.
Yeah.
If you start from seeds, you cut the moms out of the equation.
We have such a cool experience. The thing is that anytime someone's starting fresh, it's like, fuck, you got right now we have the ability to not fuck it all up
Exactly.
and put a bunch of bullshit in there and have it all be like, oh, dude, it all looks like shit now. Everything's just fucking got rusted. So you're like, no, you brought in 60 people with different shit and they all fucked it all. Almost better to be like, do it from seed and have different people maintaining those areas and give them the head start of having like something that you can all work together as, because it's always better if you had like 1,000, if you have the ability to grow 20,000 plants at a time of any given type and narrow it down to that one of this.
Done loud.
You've done it really. Don't listen to them.
I know it can't. Jeez, I broke the rule again. Look, they're shaking their heads at
Rule
me.
breaker.
Motherfucker.
Gosh.
And so what we're doing
Jumping the gun. Gun jumper.
Gun jumper.
it's going to be a
Dave
combination
gun
of
jumper.
myself. So it's going to be a combination of outdoor growing for the season and then year-round greenhouses.
Oh, nice.
The the outdoor seasonal specifically seed, I think, is
It's always better anyway.
It's a no-brainer. What I'm really looking for, and ideally I would love to grow from seed across the board, if I can find genetics and work with breeders that have that are stable.
No breeders around here. No breeders around
It's
here.
too bad this show has nothing to do with breeding and genetics.
I think I came to the right spot. That's part of the reason I'm
You might
here.
not want to. It might be a good time for you to give out your website address, name of your company while we're on the topic. People here, what I learned being on the show for a short time is that everybody who listens to the Adam Dunn Show is a master breeder. Total.
They're all
That is
we're
not-
all master
all
growers,
masters.
master breeders, right?
I think nobody who listens to the show even uses the words master breeders or whatever. I was like, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like,
A supreme geneticist.
Let's just give
You know,
just don't even.
Sure.
I think the whole key is to not name yourself, have someone else come up with something really good and love it. And not,
It's like a martial
Like
art, though.
stick.
You would never call yourself a master. You're right.
well, yeah, and you should. And with growing, it's like literally. It's
I
in
will
the word.
bestow
It's in
the
the fucking
master
name.
title
It's like
on you.
growing. Oh, I know everything about growing. Like, no, you don't. It's like, oh, really? Well, you think you do, but especially if you're growing with GH back in the 90s and you haven't changed your formula, but they've actually changed their formula, so you have actually changed your formula, and you just don't know it because you're fucking just like A and B in it
Living
the
in
whole
the
way,
past.
and you're just using the oldest stuff there is. And then so many other people have moved on from that, but it was good. It was a good start. So it's one of those. Come on, yeah, keep
what,
going.
the two of you
Dave,
can't smoke one
go.
joint?
We
Go.
sure can, dude. It's just.
I know, Dave. Come on, Dave.
Dude,
What?
I'm
No,
good.
this
I'm
is.
good. You know what?
This
I
is the Buddha Tahoe.
I know. By the way,
It's a
it's
fire.
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No, I'm smoking our sponsors right now. What are you talking about?
Smoking our sponsors.
That's
That's
right.
good. That's good.
You got it.
But yeah, no, I think the ability to ease into that space properly and work it right and not just fucking fill it up and with things that are, maybe interesting, but they also might be really old and carry all sorts of viruses and all sorts. And you're on such a big,
Exactly.
big spot. Things like that are just like you don't want to get behind any of that shit. Like, oh well, now we're treating for this, and then all of a sudden you're fucked. Because you're on top of each other. And that's the first sort of like as a grower kind of concern. Which I think it all kind of connects to all of them. It'd be like IPM, who's going to take care of that? Nutrients, are we going to have make sure everybody's organic, or is it going to be a situation where there's guys just buying shitty stuff?
Well, that's the thing, right? Don't
You
you?
don't want someone leaving the place fucked up because they're like, well, we grow with one part.
Do you take advantage of economies of scale in ordering of nutrients and supplies and everything like that? But to Adam's point, I mean, is there someone who regularly comes through and is testing and is staying on to who's Area 420 cop? To make sure
the
that
cops, you can do that. That'd be fun to do. A little golf
give
cart.
him a little green badge. Driver in a golf cart. That'd be great.
Golf
Beep,
cart.
beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm coming. I'll work that just to have the golf cart. But no,
Six up.
You come in, you hit the soil. Oh yeah, test it. Throw it on the fucking thing. They get all nervous. We got nitrates. We got heavy nitrates here.
I'm sorry, sir. You put green tape around it. Just back away. Back away from the plant, sir. That's great. Yeah, what do you do?
No, I mean, there is that. And then, another thing is, I've grown hemp for the last 2 years, and that really radically changed my mindset on the cultivation of cannabis. Mm-hmm. We had a 120-acre pivot. We did last year, the year before that, I think we did 40 acres. And seeing it on that scale, and of course, in your mind, you're like, well, why couldn't this all be weed? Mm-hmm. Right? And, you have your issues, and I think you have your issues regardless. In my mind, it's cleaner to grow in year-round greenhouses and in outdoor production, especially in with the drastic winters we have killing everything off. than it is in, warehouses clustered together,
100%.
running around in Denver.
You're correct.
So it's definitely a concern, and this is a program we haven't started yet, where we've started build out. We're formulating the program right now. I'm working directly with the town of Moffat. The town has their own internal compliance people that acts as a mediator between the state and the town. I believe we're only Aurora and Moffat are the only ones doing this. So we really are taking all these things into consideration, especially on the compliance end. This is, that's another hard hurdle that a lot of guys have transitioning into this.
We have an opportunity to take it next level though, and actually make people go holy shit, this is the way we should do it. Because the way you're doing it is almost so no one else is really can't take advantage of it because their counties are too difficult or whatever. So you got an opportunity maybe to pull it really together, have somebody police it in a stoner way. Of course, we'll settle this out of court. Don't worry. This infraction will be taken internally. We'll take care of that at the end.
Well, and
but no, in general, I think you could then just show take those records together, show the compliance within the compliance, and then make them go holy fuck, these guys are on point, compared to them coming and going what a clusterfuck, because all of a sudden it's you're responsible for all, because that's the whole it's all about liability in America, and if you have that much area, the liability of the whole thing would be probably make how's the insurance? What are you doing for insurance? These guys going nuts for you, or how do we do this? Or is it everyone has their own insurance, or is it you insure the whole property? Because you're dealing with a lot of different people's fucking techniques and doing things. If you have different multiple people growing.
What was cool was the phase one. Again, we weren't doing this program. This was us selling lots and just people from all walks of life coming in, and many of them, most, because of the kind of the market we were in, this was their first year growing. It was a good sweet spot, and they made the move.
Come closer.
Sorry.
It's good. There you go.
and we learned a lot from that.
There you go.
On how the guys could get together, and it was amazing. When a guy had to pull his plastic on his greenhouse, the whole community would come together, and for no pay, just come together and work. It was awesome. So we're taking a play of that, but in the new phase, we're going to be handling the build-out and the financing on our end, and they're going to be operating within these facilities. And, we don't want to fuck this up, so we're really, that's why I'm reaching out to the state and really taking this slow with the town. This is, we're not jumping into the 320 acres right away. This year, we're looking to do 20 Tier 1 outdoor operations. And, I think with our experience with the hemp and learning what we've learned and the equipment we have, I think we can tackle that. And then we're going to be doing 2 Tier 1 operations, year-round greenhouses, which is going to be around 50,000 square foot of greenhouse space each. Mm-hmm. We're currently building what we call Flower Factory, which is our first facility on our first phase, which is going to be our training facility. So people that come through this operation, we want to run them through that facility, teach them metric, make sure that they understand, everything on the back. And everybody knows how to grow. But I always tell people, when you make the jump into the new commercial world, growing's the easiest part.
So will you be handling sales and distribution for the finished crop for everybody into the dispensary system, or how's that work? We
haven't really, that is possibly an option. What our thought is right now, we just want to allow these people to come in there. I'm envisioning 5-man crews to run these tiers. Allow them to develop their own brands, their own, ethos to what it is that they do, and then support that brand as a collective. So in terms of distribution, for the guys on phase 1, everybody handles their own sales. We don't get involved in that.
Nice.
Dave's brain is tick tock, tick tock.
Well, come on,
And this is, like you said, there's not many places you can do this. There's, I looked online. You got, Tyson Ranch. Uh-huh. There's some things going, but I don't think with this focus, certainly not with the social equity focus that we're looking to do. And I think this is a crazy, unique opportunity to bring some culture back to the industry.
That sounds amazing.
Well,
How many?
Anytime you have a town behind you and it's easy and you know exactly what's going on, it's transparent because you're like bringing like probably you can like at least hit 20% at some point in the town, and then maybe be 50%, and by a certain point you'll pretty much anybody who's in and around the area probably works for you. So they'll be like, all right, these guys are pretty much
the support from the town we already have, right? And that was the most amazing thing. We didn't go in there and bribe anybody or push big money around. I mean, we started with nothing, no marketing, no nothing. But they just inherently got that it was a win-win scenario. I mean, it took me a couple years. I got them to allow the first operation, and then we kind of talked them into the annexation and really going in deep. And fast forward to today, the state really loves what we're doing. They really appreciate it. They're pushing more power onto the municipalities. I think they want these towns to start stepping up and playing a role in this, and they should, because they're getting their excise cut off of this too. Mm-hmm. So it's just a win-win across the board.
And where are you as far as tenants, people in your co-op? What would you call them?
Well, phase 1 is nearly sold out. I mean, we're not even really marketing anymore. I'm kind of leaving that to the guys that are.
How many people is that, if you don't mind my asking?
God, 40-something. We have like
Good for you. Oh, golf clap for that,
Thank
man.
you. See, so you're 40 of the 115. Is that actually where it's at now? Is that what you're saying? Like, in the town, you're 40?
Oh, no.
Of people?
Yeah.
Well, and those are just licenses. There's crews behind each and every one of them. So we've probably brought in close to the same amount of people that live. I mean,
yeah. See, I just wanted to get the scope. That's
Area
I needed to hear
420
that
hotel.
number to understand. Now, yeah, I get it. Right.
And what's cool is, this town has dwindled down to 115 people. But if you look back in its history, in fact, there was just a news story. They're calling what we're doing there the fourth gold rush, the new green rush. Mm-hmm. First you had the gold rush. Then you had the cattle that pushed people into the valley. Then there was the Oklahoma Land Trust, where they were auctioning off chunks of land. In fact, some of the property in Area 420 is that old historic Oklahoma Land Trust. And then now there's this. So the town has supported 2,500 plus people before. It can, it can do that. We're sitting on a tremendous amount of water. We're tapped into one of the largest freshwater aquifers in the world. It's
definitely one of the
places.
It's in Colorado. It's the only place really is here in Western Slope, and that's pretty much it. That lower there in the Western Slope. The rest of it stays like, you know what I mean? It's like it's not where you want to be. But
on the west, how far is the drive for you to here?
Yeah, 3.5, 4 hours.
Okay.
So and also it's like it kind of fits with the whole. I mean, Area 420 in the place that has notorious fucking alien sightings and all sorts of cool history. It's a lot of cool history there.
Shit out there.
And then a lot of cow mutilations and.
Oh, it's here in the valley, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
The first mutilation was actually a horse.
Tinfoil hat. A horse. See, there we go.
Yeah, that was in the valley.
Not for me.
Oh, is the observatory out by you?
The UFO watchtower.
It is,
yeah, it's
right?
right down the street from our hemp farm. Actually,
Very cool.
See,
very cool. Yeah, that's a cool little area. It's a funky area, right?
Funky, man.
Aliens dig it.
Yeah,
that's all we know.
It's not
They
for
land there.
everybody.
Dave can't go there. Look, he's
Why
already
not?
scared.
I love aliens. I might be one.
I think you're definitely part.
Redhead. That's a thing, man.
That's a possibility.
People could see that I have some red hair tonight, not just a fucking shiny. I'll
Some
hold my hand
red
here
hair.
for you.
That's
Fucking Tony.
That's what you're hanging on
Bastard.
to right there. Just some. I got some,
Such a bastard.
and it's red. You just pretty much deemed like it went up for a second.
No, it's been
and
this
it
way
went
for
down.
the past 10 years, so I think it's going to stay.
I think you were red as a kid.
You're in a
though,
holding
obviously.
pattern.
You were
You're in a
never like
holding
not
pattern.
red. Well, you're never not red, right?
No, I was always red.
You
well,
knew you
no,
were
but
red.
this is.
You didn't have a beard when you were a baby. I'm talking about like when you were a baby.
What are
like,
you talking about?
I'm
I
saying
might have.
You've always been a redhead, right?
Yeah, I have always been a redhead. It didn't come from a fucking bottle. I didn't hit puberty and all of a sudden it turned red. Ah, no! It was always that way. I had a lot more freckles when I was younger, but that's okay. So Area 420. I don't know why we're talking about my freckles, but is there a hotel down there? I mean, what are we doing?
Not yet. We have big plans for all kinds of things.
Right on.
One of the cooler things we're looking at doing, because obviously this is going to generate a lot of tax income for the town as well.
Hotels.
So there's a lot of hot springs in our area, right?
Nice.
So the Ray Newmeyer, shout out to Ray, he's our well driller and he's also the mayor of Hooper. He did some studies back in the 70s, and we're on the fault line. And we could have a geothermal hot spring well and run all of our greenhouses. So here's the trick. So the Hooper hot spring, they drill this thing. It comes out so hot, they have to cut it with cold water, which is a waste.
Source heat pump.
Right.
There we go, baby.
But that's a waste. Why cut it with cold water when we can run it through infrastructure, dump it out? We have a nice hotel, hot springs, and that's the only downside of this valley is it gets cold as shit.
I might know one or two people who develop hotels and might see this as an interesting opportunity.
You gotta talk to us. We have land already slated for this that's non-cannabis for expansion.
Shout out Calyx Development.
Nice. I mean, any building. The valley needs housing, building. I mean, horribly. It's growing. Not just what we're doing, but the valley's growing, and it's a world of opportunity.
It sounds like there can be Area 420 consumption lounge.
That's the next thing I was going to be.
It's up to municipality.
It is. So that was the next thing. I told the mayor. I said, look, like I was telling you, these guys can't consume in their facilities. That's a big no-no, and I've warned all of them that. But then you also can't consume in your car. That's technically, you can't be in the store. Where the hell do you go, right? So we have plans for a social consumption lounge area for the guys. We haven't decided whether or not we're going to make this public or just for the crew there. If we can public, I'd rather. But
what if that lounge were sponsored by a nationally recognized cannabinoid magazine, giving it cred, and you could call it the HC tent?
Please, I mean that's
Look, no, I mean look, we literally just met on air. I didn't even know they didn't tell me a mic was coming on, so I was like, oh, Chris. I'm like, you don't look like Chris. But I want to talk to you about that. Absolutely, of course. That's the kind of forward thinking that I think a lot of towns need, and like it. You guys have if what you're saying is like the numbers are like you're 40 of 115 and more people are going to come start living there, right? You guys actually have an amazing voice in your town where you can just become, hey, we're a tourist town for cannabis, and we're going to show you how to do this right as a model for other towns, because somebody has to do some shit like that.
And that's what I'm hoping that this can become with the state. That not only for Colorado, but a lot of other states look to Colorado. And if we can show this whole how a town can work hand in hand with the state and the industry, and we can take this show on the road and show them.
I agree.
And that's another reason. And thank you. That's the reason why I drove 3.5 hours to come out of our hole. I'm proud to finally be able to come out and talk about this, because a lot of things had to be. We just got our second annexation. I'm happy that I could be here on the Adam Dunn show. I've been watching you and following you for years.
Since I was a baby. It's going to be terrible in a few years.
Before
she start to hear that.
At least you didn't say I've been watching you since Dave joined the show.
I was looking for some of the old first videos. I can't find them online.
I don't know. Are they lost forever?
Lost episodes.
They're
What,
lost
the
forever.
PI Cannabis
Mitch deleted
episodes?
them.
Or,
Mitch actually,
I'm sure that there's a point that
they
the
disappeared.
videos were only on live stream and no one had the actual video.
No, so gone forever.
I bet you
they
there's
weren't recorded.
Anything,
they were just
anything
audio.
that was around, anything that was on the hard drive on that old ass computer was saved and uploaded to YouTube. So that's the oldest stuff that we have on video uploaded. Before that
gone forever,
is
bro.
beyond my control. It's probably the kid's fault. Blame the kid.
The kid may be fucked up. You mean?
I don't know.
Like,
You
I
look
don't think
like
I have
a
any of
gnome
our
on
old
the show,
shows.
by the way.
I
Sit
look
up.
like I have a who?
You just sit up. Raise your chair up. Look at
I can't. I'm a little guy.
Are you getting posture comments?
Am I? Where?
But no, I wanted to reach out to
in my head.
to others. I mean, we're kind of, we're in the middle of nowhere out there. I don't get out much. This is all we do, and we got to start networking, letting people know. And I also want to let people know that with the new I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but the new 2020 sunset rules are now allowing felons in. It's 3 years from the date of your conviction. A lot of people don't know this shit. I talk to guys all the time that think they're still banned, and they can get in. They can apply now, and under this accelerator program, they're talking about even waiving that. If you can make a case for yourself,
Other states have already done it.
Exactly.
I mean, like
it's about time.
Oklahoma just did it. Like they're just, you know.
We can't be behind Oklahoma.
Seriously.
Oklahoma.
Stupid.
We got come on, let's get this done in Colorado, right?
Actually,
Well, that's the crazy part is when you're like progressive like Colorado was, then they get scared and they kind of like put the brakes on, and all of a sudden they don't really fucking do the proper. They don't do the follow through, which is usually the case because everybody kind of like gets comfortable at about 3/4 of the way. They're like, oh, you know what? Let's just stop here. Let's not go full, because if we go full, it's going to fuck up everything. Cause
we're a victim of our own success by being first.
And you just kind of want to
Right.
they all pump the brakes, and then when they do that, it all kind of comes crashing down in the sense of like, oh my God, there's still a fucking black market. It's like, no kidding, because you taxed it too high, or you just went dumb and kind of like.
Oh, it's the black market's going to get so much worse when Colorado starts to force med out over the next few years, and everybody starts paying 35%. The med patients who have been in the program for the past 10 years, forget about it. Get ready, black market again. They're going to have to figure out another way. 35% is not a sustainable tax rate to prevent the black market, nor to prevent somebody from simply going online. Crazy time. I mean, they have to figure it out. There has to be a balance.
Only the nose can do that.
People are going to go to the black market, but plenty of people are still going to go to the stores. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the thing. It's what people get used to. It's incrementally get more expensive, or whatever is going to happen in the marketplace. People will adjust and they'll just do it. But there's always, I agree, there's going to be a black market. But I'll be honest, man, I don't want to have to go to a dealer anymore. I don't.
Neither do I.
Right?
Have you?
Like,
No,
that
I've been a.
experience is like,
Be the dealer. That's
Have
the
you
whole thing.
seen?
But now the
I used to
government
do
wants
that.
to be the dealer.
I
You
used
don't
to be
you
the
never
dealer
wanna
too.
Go
It's
to
just-
the dealer.
Yeah, you
Tell
don't.
them the dealer.
Have you
That's
guys
Just want to
seen?
in, out, be done.
the first thing to figure
Have you
out.
seen the statistics that came out that show how Colorado compares to other states in terms of what percentage of the black market still exists?
Yeah.
We're leading the pack. So, you know,
We
I
have
don't
a
know how
nice
much you
gray
can.
market,
I don't know how
right?
much you. Right.
I think that's what it is.
The grow laws
Yeah,
here.
I don't
it's
even know about that. I don't
Well-
even know if we have a gray market as much as we're just like, we're not California. You know,
Exactly.
numbers-wise,
We
the
don't
people.
have
We don't have the
culture
volume
of
of
it.
people. We don't have the volume of
We
people
don't.
or the real estate. Like every place is known, good done. So you're kind of like limited in that. People are pretty wise to everything. A lot of rentals. Colorado's full of rentals, so those places are all technically off the fucking books.
Well, I think
And
those
people-
guys are going to other markets now too. They're moving.
And
to
then
other
the ones who
states.
own it, I mean, they're gonna only ones that happen now are still like, you know, Pueblo area, and it's all fucking, you know, technically it's like cartel guys just fucking renting out six or eight, you know, houses at a time,
Right.
and just cranking out large things, and fucking up the whole place, and doing all the shit we don't want anybody to do, which has always been a problem. And I think in a way, you know, the whole problem with cannabis is that because it's been illegal for so long, we've always gone to such extremes to hide it that we had to do damage to houses, and we had to do this, and we, you know, there was like things you just had to do. You couldn't like not cut the fucking thing if you wanted to like extend the roof out or whatever.
A big greenhouse or
Well, whatever
could
you
do
ended
that
up
shit.
doing, and a lot of times it was like it's something, you know, and usually you could, if you had the time, you could fix it, but sometimes you got in trouble, nothing got fixed,
get
and all
out
this-
quick.
you're out of there, and it looks like a fucking disaster to whoever's behind you, because they're like all of a sudden like, holy fuck, this guy just cut the roof and did all of that. I've been in all sorts of fucking ridiculous places because we've in Holland. This room would be a big room, you know what I mean? It's like, this is a fucking woo, you know, it's like there's not
This
much.
would supply a coffee shop in Holland.
Yeah, this would be a good sized room. You're like, wow. You know,
I can make a
normally-
business out of this.
And you'd end up in places that would be like a quarter this size, or you'd be in a huge place and it'd be a bunch of gangsters. So there was no, you didn't, and again, same problem. It was like the ones who want to take the risk and who own the properties, because they'll scare any landlord in a heartbeat. They'll be like, all right, we'll take your property, and they're like, nope, you're out. You know, they're like, they'll say yes, you'll set it all up. Some friend or whatever will talk to them and go, you know, you're kind of responsible if you. The guy goes, "Wah." He can't sleep at night, so all of a sudden he calls, you know, tells you to break it all down, and you're on week 5 of flower or something stupid like that. I've seen it all. You're like, oh, now you want me to move it now? Like, okay, sure. You know, like you're
Someone should write a book on all those stories.
the fucked up.
Breakdown stories. The
running
overnight.
down
How
the-
many grows?
Yeah,
did
when's
you
the
have
book?
to
When's the
break
book
down?
coming out, Adam? When's the book
I'll tell
coming
you.
out?
I got a couple myself. I'm sure there's a lot of great stories as far as the breaking down and having to move. That's kind of a criteria within plants sometimes for me, where it's like, does survive a critical moving at the wrong time compared to this other strain, which completely fell apart like a piece of shit and fucking just disintegrated. So I would not give that any kind of thumbs up in that category. But there's some definite, like, plants don't like to be moved at all. Like, pretty much they're happy where they are as long as you can fucking give them what they want. The moving is always...
Especially in the winter in Colorado.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you got to get them off the ground, obviously, here, because unless you're, depending where you are, if you're in the ground and you have a greenhouse, then you have to have a lot of backup plans in case the shit goes wrong, because you'd be like, oh no, lose a whole place in 48 hours if it didn't have heaters or whatever, right? So you said 50,000 square foot per greenhouse, and how many was the original plan, like, for the greenhouse section of it? Because was it 60 greenhouses at that size?
Yeah, 60 tier 1 operations. So
Okay.
we designed this around the state gives you 1,800 plants to start. So the whole system is designed around that 1,800 plants.
Gotcha.
And this is a perpetual harvest scenario where we're harvesting Monday, Wednesday, Friday in this equation. So what we're trying to get around is big bursts of labor during harvest. I'm trying to build this to where it's a 5-man crew that's running, nonstop together, so we don't have to have that whole other element. Because again, we're in the middle of nowhere here.
Yeah, I think when you're kind of harvesting, it depends on, because with certain plants, yeah, it doesn't matter. You can fucking cut them all down at the same time. But
These are going to have to be single strains per facility, or at least.
Well, from seed, it's going to be like you're going to go
Right.
again. You're going to run into that problem of, like, from seed, can't really ever do that, just because a lot of the shit's going to be within a window, and it's also going to be, some unknowns, especially if it's new crosses with people I've never done before. So it's like, is it leaning towards this one or is it leaning towards that one? Which one's recessive? Which one's not? So there's all that kind of just fucking only way to know it is to grow it. You're like, boom, throw it out there, put it out.
And stabilize. So again, the outdoor is more appropriate for the seed right now. The plan that I'm running calls for cloning in this equation. Ideally, what I'd like to see is, as we can develop a strain of seed that we can put out that's close enough to run in this equation. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it done. Again, 2 years ago,
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
See, 2 years ago.
That's a great term.
I just did term. Gotta grow it to see.
You did the Kessel run in 12 parsecs.
I did this. So exactly. We're coming up with all sorts of taglines. What are the tagline guys?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. I like that one.
I like that. 2 years ago, we got some. Now again, this is hemp, but same thing. We got some mortgage lifter genetics from Oregon, and we did 20 acres of it. And this, man, I'm telling you, they looked identical. They could have been clones. The stability in these genetics was unreal. And so that's telling me this can be done, right? It's just something that needs to be, and I don't know, you guys, I'm not too hip on the breeding.
And the funny thing is,
aspect,
was that like 2007, 16 or something like that? Was it 16, 17? What year was that?
I thought we did this, San Luis, this was the 17 season.
Because I think they were like really good at that point, because they were
it was unreal.
Just putting them out.
Well,
and they had some really good numbers, like 4,000 to 1.
Well, here's another interesting
males,
thing.
And you were like, oh, that's fucking impressive. So like one for every
We didn't find any males, and check this out. They didn't get. Now we had another 40-acre farm of some of that C4 crap that was going around. We got burnt by that. Yeah, hit us too. Thought it was feminized, wasn't. And so now we have pollen blowing, right? They're literally right next to each other on the field. The mortgage lifter, not a bean in them. So here's what I think they're doing. I think they're triploids.
So they're not just.
And I've been wanting to talk to you about this shit forever.
I mean, there could be some like the whole thing is if you get plants that are all sterile, then they don't produce nothing, and they don't get get hit by anything.
The ultimate Monsanto genetic that you could sell forever.
Now here's how I understand it, and I've always wanted to ask
him genetic questions.
Right.
Look that way.
So as I understand this, triploids are incapable of cross-pollinating with a diploid, and seedless watermelons, grapes, all of these this is what they've done. Why has this not been developed? And again, I think this is what they did with Oregon. I think they're not promoting it because people are going to jump to thinking it's GMO. But if you look into it, it's not. You can have organic seedless grapes, organic seedless. This shit can be done. And this cannabis game needs it, especially like look what's happening with the hemp right now. Well, and the cross pollinations and whatnot.
And a lot of times it's just fucking misdirection. People are all like, yeah, it's whatever you want it to be. Like, you're like, and especially when you get people who don't think they're ever going to see that person again. It's literally like the whole industry is crazy. Like that.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Totally. So, and then that's like, fucking blown out on a huge scale. So.
Well, my question is, I guess, do you know anybody that's worked on that? Working a line in that direction?
What they've done, which is they've created a line by basically blocking. This is why it'd be great seeing Chris. I don't know where the fuck he is because he knows the whole history of this too. It'd been perfect.
Can't park outside, so maybe he's having trouble finding parking.
No, he would have hit me. Oh, wait, here we go. Hold on. Oh, Jesus.
He's been downstairs. And
hospital. Oh, God. It's like one of those 50-50s if it's a real story or not.
That's the best experience.
Somebody's giving birth. We'll bring chocolate cigars to ask what hospital.
Call me from the hospital. All right.
That's worse than a woman when you're in the single days giving you an 800 or 900 number.
Oh. He's got his iPad. He's going to call in, maybe?
He heard.
Is that him?
Skype beat is tight.
Is that him calling in?
I don't know.
Yo, let's see.
Who's that?
Yo, what's good? This is Into Canada from Canada.
Oh, it's Indy. Are you at the fucking Home Depot or not?
You're at Home Depot?
Actually am.
What's the price on a bag of nails?
Oh, he calls us from Home Depot.
Yeah, always.
So
they're a box of nails.
A box? Oh, no, but I want to...
Can you... Oh, there we go. So we got the Home Depot.
That's a different aisle.
Which aisle are we in now?
The
glass aisle.
Right now, so.
All right. Talk to people. Bother them. Are you wearing orange? Are you wearing orange?
I heard about the... oh, sorry. I just wanted to join in about the... you were talking about the seedless conversation about cannabis and
Tell
stuff.
us. Jump in, Mr. Watermelon.
Triploid.
So I have like two things that I've kind of like taken interest in with regards to that. So I have the triploid plant genetics that I have sort of been in the works. What happened this season is I had a male triploid and a female. And again, like the term triploid, everyone gets all really anal and whatever up their ass about it. But like, as far as I'm concerned,
anal
like
about it?
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Wait. Mark does not have any anal glide with him tonight.
Everyone wants you to qualify it. Like, what are you saying? Like, is it a true triploid because it had 3 leaves the whole time or whatever, right? So,
It doesn't require any water, man.
Well, yeah, some of them don't. Some of them like only go on like a branch or two, and some of them actually kind of go.
Okay, so here's
keep going.
Here's like my.
But they don't like
as far
clone.
As how I'm coining it, right? Because you even sort of were on my side with this, where like, okay, if there's 3 cotyledons, those little initial leaves before the true leaves, that's like triploid-ish, let's say.
Yeah.
So I had 2 of those plants, and they both happen to be.
They get that weird. Did they get the weird? Did they get like a weird sort of mutation that where they grow?
Well, they were already weird because they had the OG KB trait, the OG Kushberry kind of trait, which is they have those leaves that are irregular, sort of, or at least misshapen, right?
Yeah, like a little curl or something.
Yeah, but the thing is, I noticed it even grew differently than one that wasn't a triploid, because I had one that wasn't a triploid that was the OG KB also. That also grew a little bit slower than other genetics would. But the triploid even grew slower than that. I don't think it's a Canadian pronunciation.
It was good.
So,
yes.
Anyhow, so what deals with that is then I grew out a bunch of those. Well, first I grew out the female outdoors this year, and I pollinated it with the male. That's the term, pollinated it.
This is a clone. This is a clone of the triploid that you already had.
Yeah, so I had a male triploid as well. Or, I had the 3 cotyledon leaves, and it was also
a triploid orgy going on now. Sounds scary.
Right,
it got really nerdy.
I'm trying to figure out for myself if you can, breed them, sort of thing. All right. And the male also had the OG KB trait too. So, I got pollinated. I pollinated the female outdoors this year, but I had it like late to the game outdoors. I just started it early indoors as a seedling, and so I got some seeds, but they weren't fully mature, so I started some, and other ones I tried to germinate. I didn't have quite too much luck, but I didn't have too much to work with, and I'm still going to try again. So I have like some remaining seeds, and then I actually
Did they ever get any of them mature, or the seeds themselves, or were they all kind of like half? Because I mean
they were like at most I had like 4 that were kind of like, okay, these are good size, but they weren't like nice and striped kind of, and it was outdoors, right? And the thing is too, because it was that OGKB version, it almost like the seed pods are a little bit too tight and they are exposed, and then the seed doesn't mature that well, and so it's almost a little bit too finicky or whatever in that way too, which is annoying. So I'm trying again indoors, but so far no luck.
I mean, the whole thing
with that, but
it's hard. It's really hard to fucking transfer. Like you'll notice if you put 2 of them together, I've seen people do it, and they like it's less than 50-50 if there's even like higher. Yes, the percentages are not super high. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely hard.
No, but I guess in some ways that
I think you can do it chemically well.
I guess sort of the question a little bit about like if you could have like a triploid version of cannabis to get rid of the seeds, if that would really make sense, right? Because even though they might not be viable seeds, like they're not going to be, like, you still want like a seeded crop, which is still kind of the case, which is it seems with those triploids. But on the other hand, what I have,
but the ones you had, here's the interesting part: that you had fucking viable enough pollen to make seeds off of one. So I mean, kind of.
Oh, off the male, yeah, for sure. And I've already made several crosses from the male with the triploid.
So that's kind of going against the whole idea of like if you're doing like think if you're growing like fields of it. It was like, well, yeah, I got males.
Yeah,
it's like
shit. And so far, it's the nicest male to keep around because it's OGKB and it's triploid, so it grows so slowly. So I just clone it, and then it it just veges for like months. But then again, once you need pollen, it takes forever to get the pollen from it. So.
And then the same female version of it, you've grown those out and flowered them. It sounds like if you've been having.
Yeah, so the female is the same deal. They take forever to grow out too, and I grew out a whole batch. And I'm just finishing off a new indoor round where I've also pollinated it with the male pollen, the triploid again, to see if I can kind of get a new round of seeds and see if that'll work, just to see if I can get any to be viable at this point. But then. At the same time as that,
or just like reverse jerk yourself for like another couple rounds. Like, yep, that was a complete reverse circle jerk myself.
I know it's such a like a road to nothing potentially.
Well, it could be. But I mean, well, the thing is, it's interesting, of course. I mean, and that's the thing.
Well, no,
like I love those
it's
mutants.
Not like it's with a journey, right? But yeah.
Like the freak show is fucking awesome. That's that thing is like amazing.
What do you mean they're doing DJC by DJC? I don't know how they did that, but they're doing it.
What, freak show? Don't call it that.
No, never gonna happen.
No, that's already
But I actually have
it
could be.
But the female is the triploid. At the same time, I just harvested. I'd say eight of the females that I pollinated with a male that was just a regular male. And I got a bunch of striped seeds from that, so I'll be able to see if I get any to germinate from that. That's not like a triploid male with a female cross, it's just a triploid female. But that'd be still kind of cool to see if I get viable just from the female at all, from a non-triploid male.
Yeah, well, I mean that would that would blow the theory out of the water.
Right.
At least we did that. At least we blew the theory out of the water. That was all we cared about. All right, so now what? So now, besides, yeah.
I'll get to the other point in a second, but then everyone
oh
will get
my god! How many points?
Holy shit!
0.3? How many more? 2?
Right. Everyone will get bogged down once that point is proven, though, because they'll be saying like, "Oh, but that's not an actual triploid. You got like a polyploid, blah 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 terminology."
Blah blah blah. No blah blah blah.
Adam's favorite language.
I think if you get like a tetraploid, which would be a tetraploid, then that would be pretty awesome, and people would be like, "Holy shit!" Like. If you got like a consistent plant because if you can like just like that freak show one, things called freak show grows like it looks like ferns.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like it's just like wow, that's like an awesome plant. Like and the weed looks okay, but the leaf structure is just off the fucking chain. So any kind of mutant that you can replicate.
Replicate the mutant.
Bring it. All the good shit.
If I can push it somewhere else.
Maybe there'll be a mutant category in the competition next year, something like that.
Trends. But as far as seedless stuff goes, so I guess I have a lot of stuff that uses the OGKB trait so far. So what I have is another strain, which is meat breast, and it's crossed with peanut butter breast. Both these strains are by Thug Pug Genetics.
Mm-hmm.
And I used the neat breast female, and the male and the female were both had the OGKB trait as well. So each of the seeds that I get from that, they like 100% of them, it seems, almost have that trait. Like I actually started, a whole round of them, and like 30 to 30 have them. So I'm guessing they all have that trait.
What trait is that? We talking about the
the OGKB trait as well. So
you've already grown that
out.
You grew them. So you grew them out. So you grew out the next generation. Then.
Yeah, I grew it out last year outdoors, and I've already grown it. And so that strain, I've coined it Grommer. That's named after the breeder, Thug Pug. It's his handle on Instagram. At least it used to be.
Stealing his name?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Live on the air.
So, but the whole point
Canadians
of that is
stealing names. Thug Pug. I'll just take this name off the. Let me just use this. Canada. Oh, come on now. Oh yeah.
So I grew that outdoors, and what was cool about it is, one, not only was it able to resist pollen in some fashion, like because it goes into flower at least a week or so later, it seems, other plants, or I'm not sure if it goes into flower later, but it doesn't show in any way. Like, you don't see really any pistils while everything else is transitioning. Mm-hmm. And then, in addition to that, like, it was really powdery mildew resistant, like, compared to anything, like, whatsoever. So out of all the bud I had outdoors, I had, like, hardly any seeds from this one strain, which is really uncommon. Like, it was just, it was almost like, felt like a little.
We got to wrap it up. We got to wrap it up.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I've been taking
break it down.
That's the idea.
What aisle are you in?
Mark, our slave driver, wants us.
Who can you go and bug? I want to see you bug. I want to hear about you bugging somebody.
Can you get some prices on ceiling fans?
Are you wearing an orange shirt? That's my number one question. When you go there, you got to bring the orange something and just put it on. And then people come running to you and like, oh, excuse me, where's this?
It's like a nerd who goes to the Apple store, wears whatever color they have, they pretends to be a genius.
Exactly. Just wear a little thing, carry a clipboard, people run to you. Say, just give me your computer and I'll put you at the front of the line. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Like the outdoor thing, though, is look for a strain that has that trait, and it's unlikely that I'll get pollinated.
Powdery mildew is what I would fucking focus on, just because that's like such a high priority in the industry as far as just any strains that are powdery mildew resistant should just go to the front of the line. Like, here you go. You get a pass. You get to hang out with those guys just because we know you're fucking able to deal with it, compared to, like, and anything that has powdery mildew, you should be like, you know what? It's nice knowing you, but you need to go step aside, and then you just kind of gank them off to the side. Don't let the other one see why you do it. Just kind of, excuse me, into the pile, and then the next one comes, and you're
isn't the outdoor hemp pollen as much as like an issue, kind of, right? So that's why
more so.
I was just talking with regards. Yeah. So if you want to like to address that, what was cool about
we talked to you're not listening to the show. We talked about that. Like,
depends where you live. I mean, it's like one of those. It's like one of those.
All of North America is going to have a pollen problem next year. Yeah. I mean, we get back into the abandoned crops.
Volunteer. Than almost the mildew, because like if I have to deal with the pollen, then I'd rather just have that.
We're blaming Canada. We're going to blame Canada anyway, because that's what we do.
Yeah, Mark wants to keep us on track and make sure we get into the news now.
We got to get. Okay, we got to run.
Canada.
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yes.
Our home.
Go shopping. Keep going. What are you buying right now? What are we saying? Just real quick.
I'm looking for carabiner. Nothing.
He's getting bananas or a carabiner.
Wow.
You know, in the biscuit in the basket.
I'm usually there for like a lot more than a carabiner usually. Home Depot has put me out of business almost in the beginning. I couldn't believe how much I spent there. All right. Thank you, man. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for your tetraploid illness.
Thank you for your ploy to
take care
of info. I'll get you updated.
Yes.
Yes, photos.
And spellings of all those different ploids.
Photos did happen. We want to, tetraploid coming our way. All right, man.
Tetraplopoploid.
Tetraplopoploid.
News time.
So, oh, wow, news. Okay, and what
you guys we're going to do some news. Do you have any good news? Anything you want to scoop? Anything
David
right now?
Hey, you could Dave. We could have you come in and just sit in as our reporter with him, because
you want, yeah. Well, that's something
because Dave sucks at it.
Dave does suck at it. Do you?
do?
I do.
Oh,
I'm the worst.
No, I mean, we're probably going to be doing
can't
that.
Read,
you guys got to come into my studio.
I can read.
You guys have
to do I got a good story tonight.
Okay, you got a good story.
Right, what we should do is we should pre-record the news the day before, or we should do something and we'll play them.
Yeah,
and we'll rerun them. But this is the one I like. I like. Fucker. It's like they're playing the Robin theme every time she's going to do it. Wah. But no, so check this out. So I've been saying this for years that, and I would be guilty if I said, you know what? I haven't been in a room where I've said, come on, when you're making a THC-free hemp product, what is happening to that THC? It's being removed as waste. Well, there ran a story right now that says the case of the missing THC, that since many CBD products contain no THC, where is it all going after extracted from the hemp plant? So, I mean, listen, there are barrels sitting somewhere of waste, right, that was removed, that is waiting to be destroyed, hoping that legislation catches up, or is, not that I'm a proponent of, because I like the tax system, I like what it's done for Colorado, it's getting shuffled to the black market through vape pens or something like that. And so this is what it says. CBD products are now seemingly everywhere. Health, food, emporia, gas stations, pharmacies, head shops, beauty salons, you name it. And pursuant to the 2018 Farm Bill, CBD is now legal. Well, sort of. If CBD is derived from hemp, as opposed to what has traditionally been called marijuana, hemp, as legally defined, is cannabis with no more than 0.3% THC. So this is it. Where does it go? And they don't even know where it's going. So that's the next discussion. Is it filling vape pens in all the unregulated markets? Are there tens of thousands of vape cartridges being sent out? You know, what's going on? So that's...
I've been wondering this for.
Is he narking everybody out?
No, I asked the question.
Well, I mean, you're looking...
Isn't it convertible?
It is, and that's the funny part, is that people forget that... Well, the whole thing is right now people are pulling out large amounts of CBD and CBG, and at the same time, they're pulling out decent amounts. Again, yeah, exactly, and then revert, and they're taking that, and that's getting out there somehow.
So you're telling me? So I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. You're telling me that they pull out the THC, which has a direct economic path.
It has a value.
It has a value, and they're going to convert it to something else so that they could stay legal. We're believing in our brethren that they're going to follow the letter.
Smoking it all at the end of every shift.
But
that's protocol.
Still, okay,
you got to get rid of it.
But when look, is there some of that? Absolutely. There's absolutely there's got to be some. There's so many actors out there doing this stuff, right? That somebody's doing that. Absolutely. But the majority of them are the larger ones. These guys are farmers. They're just farmers. And they're like, wow, I want to grow this crop and it's hemp. And so they don't want to break any laws, and they don't want to literally lose their farm just because they can make some THC out the back door.
Well, it would be on the extractor end. The farmer would be.
It's the extractor. You're right. Well, because first of all, it has to be tested, right? The farm, it's got to test at 0.3% or less THC anyway.
Actually, that is debatable depending on in what state is in. It's allowing you to take some of the stalk now and grind them in up to 0.5%.
That's actually the way it should be, though. That's the way it should be.
Because it's coming off the field. Yeah, exactly. You're losing more than that.
Yeah, because they were just taking it off the top, and you're like, yeah, come on, let's take it off the whole plant.
Oregon is leading the way in testing protocols in regards to having some flexibility with farmers, because the goal is that every kilogram that is destroyed is tax revenue that's lost out on.
So you bring it back into the metric system, and they can put it out on the on the legal market. Now, in that story, did they say what they think is happening?
They'll make conclusions, but they don't.
What story is? Who's doing this story?
Oh, I'll pull it up. I was on to the next article already.
So, what's your source?
Come on, man.
What's
All right, hold on.
We're going to be.
You're going to make me go back inside my source.
No, I got it right here. It's Project CBD.
Yeah,
it's Project CBD. Actually, Project CBD is a pretty that group is actually really good at what they do. I think, as far as the reporting side. So. It's an interesting question, man. It is. But I don't know, man. There's too many farmers you meet that are not. They're not going to do that.
Hey,
So, one of our wonderful supporters, Rare Phenome, sent me an interesting one that it's been printed in MJ Business.
Whoa.
No, that's how the news should be done. Right there.
That's
play that low in the background.
Yeah, play that. Play that in the background. Good. So Peru sells out of medical cannabis. Peru's only medical cannabis product is out of stock, not even 3 months after sales begin. This means patients have no option to legally access regulated medical cannabis in the domestic market. According to industry sources, Francesca Brivio, who represents a Peruvian Patients Association, wrote on her Facebook page that there is not a single formal way to access medical cannabis in Peru. So this is another problem that's occurring. Everywhere cannabis pops up, it's like the High Times Cannabis Cup. You get 3 weeks notice, you have to show up, you have to grow product, you have to sell it, and you run out because there's no established supply chain lines. They haven't fortified growers and allowed them to grow proper supplies. And then, they always underestimate demand. No one ever gets that correct.
Oh, no, the people of my state don't smoke that much weed. I mean, that's like what you'll hear from people. Yeah,
Illinois was like a 1 day, right? Lasted 1 day.
Illinois had a day. Remember we talked about in Colorado? Colorado ran out of weed. I mean, it's crazy. It is a taxable revenue stream for the government. They have become the dealer. And they are not running their proverbial pot shop correctly. They really should take a lesson from people who are in the game hiding for a long time and run it correctly.
You know, there is a difficulty. What they really should allow is interstate commerce, because what you have is, let's just say you do overestimate it too, because you don't want to necessarily overestimate demand and then be left high and dry with all this product and the price goes down. So the missing piece to solving that is interstate commerce.
Oregon actually has a law on their books. So I believe his name is Adam Smith with the marijuana policy program. Yeah, I might be getting that wrong. Or Sensible Colorado. They put that on the books, and they're reaching out to other states to take advantage of it. And I think the way it's written is either if the two states agree upon it and something like the Cole memo is backing it, they'll go. Or when federal legalization.
Or if they have to share. There's a big thing is they have to share a border. If they share a border, then they both agree on their tax system and they're both regulated, then yes, they will transfer. The problem is that Washington, Oregon, and California all have diametrically opposed systems, right? In Washington, it's you grow or you retail. You cannot do both. And so it forces the growers to produce a branded product, which can be then turned over to a distributor and put on the shelves of all the dispensaries. And it's usually the same price everywhere, same product. Oregon and California are not that way. It's a competitive model. I think Oregon still has medical, which doesn't have any taxes whatsoever, which means eventually it's going to get forced out, because if you have no representation in government, you're done.
And well, California still does too, right?
Out everywhere.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah. Well, California is the tie-in to the first story is that when I went to a Blunt Talks, and it was in Sacramento, California, and it was a lab director who talked about how 80% of all the labs were going to have to fail the cannabis that came through. I asked him. I threw him a softball. I figured, he'd answer correctly in front of cameras. I said, "Well, what's going to happen to all that cannabis that fails testing?" And he says, "Oh, it's going to be shipped back east." And it's just so that they know what's going on. It's a wink and a nod game. They're going to tax it somehow. And maybe that's the tax for law enforcement in the illegal states. They want to release some so that they can arrest people. That's just their way of doing it. There's this ebb and flow of what goes on. And until we have all the states across the land legal with some version of intrastate commerce, something like the way they distribute alcohol, right? They bottle it and then they move it through distributors. We're still going to be considered pariahs and victims of prohibition and persecution, and there are way too many people in jail right now. So I'm hoping that changes too. But that's where we are. That's news, guys. That's what I got.
That's it.
That's news. Yeah. What else do you want? You took like 3 dabs.
That was not news. That was 2 little tiny stories. Tiny.
Well, we have a big magazine right here. Maybe
I don't want to scare.
I don't want to scare.
You don't want to show our real skills. Like, wow, that was really. you showed me like 4 things. I was like, oh, good.
I have them all pulled up right here.
Yeah, what are they? Come on, man.
You want me to fucking? I want to hear something from the magazine.
Well, see, first of all, we
we can join forces. I'm sure
we can. Yes, I'd be happy to do that. But this is your show, so
no.
We keep up with we do like the longer story. Like we're doing this issue coming out is the sustainable issue. Which I think sustainability actually now is kind of a weird word, right? Because that means we're just holding patterns where we are, and we're not still in a good place, are we? When we're sustaining, right? Aren't we supposed to improve?
It is a weird word.
It's a weird word, right? As I'm thinking about it, I'm like, sustain, like, we need to fix that shit. But, I wanted to, I'm excited about where we're discovering on the cannabinoid side. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on THCP. Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think
like
of?
30 times higher.
Well, there's not a large amount of it, right? Or is it how much?
Didn't we have? This is when we called.
Yeah, we had Mark Scale.
We had Mark
Do
Scale.
we
Did you do that?
He talked about it.
No,
Well, I don't want to do repetitions.
No,
No,
it doesn't
no.
matter because when he starts to talk, you need a few times for him to repeat
It's
it.
okay, we
but
already did it.
I don't recall.
What do you don't recall? It was like
THCP was specifically that was the
That's what we were talking about, right?
was it?
Yeah, he was talking about it.
All
It
right.
was-
Anyway,
it was in
don't watch.
depth.
You should watch our show. It's great.
Yeah.
I should.
It's on Fridays,
Not
4:20
you.
to
I'm talking about him.
7:10.
I'm talking about him. You should watch the show.
Holy shit!
Oh,
So everybody, this is
dude.
my last show, guys. It was
This
This
is
fun.
last show.
3 shows ago or something like that. Not even.
Was it?
He's so smart, though, man. It's tough to follow.
Like he said,
along.
whatever he says, he doesn't listen to anything. It basically is how you translate what he just told you. You got to listen to it 3 times because you don't even listen on the free. Just like whatever.
The first time you're like, that's a lot of information.
No,
That's
he
it.
does.
And
He
then you're
does. He
like,
does break it down really good. But in general, it wasn't like. It's very hard to start talking about when we say percentage. You kind of throw everything out the window because,
Right.
like, when somebody says something like 30%, 20%,
40 times higher.
40, it never equates to the point of like you almost never go like, oh yeah, that definitely is, maybe salvia. That'd be the one you'd be like, all right, that's definitely stronger, and don't even like
Well,
it.
do you breed for THC?
Normally, yeah, pretty much.
do.
That was our goal from day
To
one.
always go to the highest THC.
Yeah, and the thing about CBD, which was interesting, is the more you smoked it or saw it or smelled it, or you realize like, fuck, I did remember that. That was like a booty run of something where you were like, this shit didn't do shit. No, it was just like people trying to sell you bunk weed probably back in the day, or people just not realizing they were growing hemp something.
Right.
It was just like hempy, but CBD, which has a medicinal value, and I like the idea. But it's also weird because as a grower, it was like a lot easier to just focus on what we liked, which is really strong weed, got you really high,
Real terpene.
and the terps were come with all that.
Well,
Whereas it's kind of the opposite sometimes.
Well, so our experience, and this was straight up out of the THC Championship, so was because we used to have testing. First year, testing, like how high your THC was part of the score. And what we found, but you also had People's Choice Awards and connoisseurs, and nobody ever picked the highest THC.
Yeah.
And I started seeing this evidence, this anecdotal like data over like 2-3 years. So we kept like lowering how much testing was, how much it was, until we finally said, look, it has nothing to do with your score anymore.
Yeah.
It was like because.
But did you still test for it though?
No, well, now they have to test for it. We
Yeah,
let
of
them do
course.
their tests,
Yep.
but the ones that have the lower THC have been winning a lot of competitions, and so I'm kind of curious as to like I again THC percentage just doesn't have a meaning to me anymore on that side.
I think a lot of times it's like you kind of. I mean, it's also just from observation is that you kind of lose something to gain something really,
Right.
especially in those critical top like 1/10 of 1% of everything, which is the most important part of everything. So it's like that little like if you really get like a super frosty plant. A lot of times it's like the white or something like that. They don't really taste like anything. They're kind of like, because the plant's just all it's working on is making that structure do that. Whereas you get a real terpy plant that's kind of like grows more sativa and kind of doesn't. The glands are different, and but it's fucking smells great, and all the parts of the plant are great. And if you do a terp test on that, you all of a sudden find out that shit's
right,
3.5%, 5%, something like that. Something real high.
Right.
And when the other stuff's like 0.7 or something.
I always use the car analogy. I think of THC as like your engine, and then like all the different terps are like your freaking leather, like interior, and like here's my radio and this, and it just that's what's So you have what I mean. Like that's always how I feel about like the creation.
comfort zone.
Right. Totally.
Oh, that's going to be our boy.
Yep.
Yo.
Hey, what's going on?
What are you doing? Giving somebody giving birth?
What are you guys doing? How'd the show go? How'd the show go?
The show is on right now. You're live right here, right now.
How's the show going?
It's great.
Awesome.
Well, it would be a lot better with you because I already see with 5 times where you would have jumped right in and been all like, man, that guy is so smart. And then you're like, and now it's just like, forget about it. You're like, wow, I never knew. I'm wearing your shirt, dude. I'm wearing a pinochle shirt.
Now it's 7.
I'm wearing a fucking
What? Serious?
Yes.
Killing me.
Wearing a pinochle shirt like a fucking fanboy. And then my hero doesn't show up.
Dude, it's been a rough day.
All right, well that's okay. I mean, you can't stop that.
We hope you're okay.
So what? Wife got hurt. Wife got hurt, or not? Or
so the CBD helps, but I think at the end of the day, she's suffering from Crohn's disease, and we've had just a weird flare-up day today. Man, that inflammation is a killer, and it's one of the things. So if she gets a lot of inflammation around certain things, she can hurt herself pretty quickly. So
I hope she feels better, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate
really
it. Sorry I'm not
better.
there. I have a bunch of dabs still. We need to meet up and take care of that too. Huh?
Well, wait till next Friday. Don't meet up with Adam beforehand.
well, we were gonna, we had all. I thought we were coming together like Voltron, but then like half the parts got left at home. The other pieces never made it.
Voltron was limping for a minute.
Got
the other
leg
leg
and
Voltron
half an arm.
Nothing.
The THC judges in the house, man.
Yeah, man. Voltless. Luckily, we got taken care of. We can. Are we giving props? Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah, props to Stone Cold Solventless, man.
There we
Guys,
go,
follow him on Instagram. You just, I can't. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let Mark put this on camera because, holy Mary, Mother of Joseph. I mean, whatever. And I'm Jewish, so I don't even know what I just said.
Look at this. Oh,
wait, I'm turning the wrong way.
No, it looks good.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
I mean,
it smells yummy.
It's
gorgeous.
Right?
Solventless.
It's fire, right?
It's fire. I mean, it's really, and it's just on a whole other level. So, props, brother, right here.
Yeah, we were doing our new spot, which we're allowed to be at, but apparently we just found out today we can't smoke until 4:00 exactly. And at 3:50, these guys started doing some big old dabs, and I came down to do a big old dab, and then we got
slapped on the wrist by Mom.
We got the call, like you can't smoke until 4, and it was 4:01 when I looked at my phone, so it was all good. It was like, all right, well, I passed the point of being able to do anything, so what can I do? Stop smoking.
They should have a loud alarm, like a siren that goes off, or like one of those horns right at 4.
No, they shouldn't.
So you just know it's happening.
So, systems processing, that is the name of your crew thing, but you guys, I mean, was that the name of the spot when we was back over on whatever street it was there? Was that also
called? That was the Raritan. That was the actual incubator spot that we had. We started a few other businesses out there,
right?
And they've been.
Since
then, the city of Inglewood came in and said that we weren't allowed to have incubator spots.
So it's funny because
cultivated synergy is kind of like that, yeah.
Well, yeah.
What?
What incubator? No.
Yeah, that's an interesting place.
Well, that's the funny thing is that is who we're talking about right now. We're talking about massive incubators of 50,000 square foot each per incubator. So.
420 acres.
Not of all that, but that's going to be greenhouse will be a chunk of that.
60 acres.
60 acres of that. So that's pretty good. So I needed you down here to fucking could have been wheeling and dealing. You're missing out. But
he has an excuse. Maybe he'll come by next week.
But I mean, you got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly of the hemp world as far as growing it here in Colorado and like the weather issues last year with I think October 12th we got crushed and everybody's fucking dreams went up in smoke went up in fucking frost in 48 hours for a lot of people in different areas, and there was all sorts of wind and plants flying and stupid tumbleweeds.
You remember the 825 tumbleweeds?
Yeah, the tumbleweed, literally tumbleweeds. But you can imagine people just like driving down the road and you see a fucking hemp
had
plant.
that all
Stop,
around down
stop,
there.
pull over and pull it into their car.
So we actually went a different direction on our field. So we were, everybody was windrowing them, and then if you were using a combine pickup header. We figured that we could. Now we're really cold in the valley, but what we did is we stopped irrigating into the freeze, killed them on the stalk, came in with a cut header and just took them as they stood, and it worked beautifully, and it saved all the bullshit labor of doing it the other way.
How many days after you cut? How many days between the?
You got a good window after that. What we found is you can kind of work into it's opposite, right? Now you're dry. You want the humidity of the morning so it doesn't poof as much as you're taking it up.
Less poof.
Less poof.
Yeah, keep the poof.
Anti-poofinator.
Gotta keep the
it's
poof
unnerving
level down.
Yeah, the windrows poof for sure. The windrows poof,
And they
blow everything everywhere.
Guys, blowing across the highway was crazy last year.
You got to watch out for poof. Has it been a problem for you this year in the magazine?
I don't have
too much poof?
No, the magazine doesn't see much poof.
No
problems.
poof? Okay. Yeah. All right, good to know.
Yeah.
Very good to know.
Man.
What's up, man? How you
He's doing
just? Yeah, I'm so
everything.
bummed you're not
He's
here.
doing
But
everything.
what's that?
Man, I'm sorry, D.
Dude,
He's doing everything.
Never
that's
would.
all right, man.
Never would have expected of you.
Thanks for being a judge again, though, man. And dude, I hope your wife's okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's been one of those consistent times.
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, I get it.
Are you? Well, yeah, we've been some of the guys are stepping up in the rec flower category. I gotta say,
Dude, the rec flower. I agree. I mean, and I just get to look at it, and then I get the extra box at the end. But it's yeah,
you have
man.
to pick your pinky up when you say that.
I did. Yeah, because we always order 3. We have them give us 3 extras just in case shit happens, and it does. But the crop this year of competitors, man. I mean, they all came to play. They did.
This was delicious.
Was it?
Yeah, it was so good.
Mark did it over there.
I'm over here.
Like the voice, Mark. Yeah,
it's like Robin Quivers in the
Yeah,
booth.
That's right.
I did those this weekend, and they're all fantastic.
How many people enter this thing?
This year, I think our final number was like 48 or 49 companies. There was a little fluctuation. At the end.
I think, 15 live resin rec
14. It was
14 live resin rec samples.
Yeah.
And was it?
See, that's the best part of putting the
Yeah.
shows on.
No, there's a couple of others that were in there, that are categorically equivalent, and I'm doing them one every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I have my notepad out. I'm writing it down. I'm enjoying the experience. I'm hoping I'm adding a little to it by like almost judging the judges by them. One was a little
You're
light.
judging the judges now?
Well, no, judging the guy who. So the judge was the wrong word.
hear it?
The guy who
Did you hear
put the quarter gram in there.
Right.
Some are a little bigger, some are a little less,
Well,
and that can skew the results.
Well,
Yeah.
So we give them a quarter to a half a gram choice to do it because I had some at first, and we could change it, but like that said, well, I don't want to give them a whole half a gram, and I was like, okay, fine, because their shit was expensive, or they were just getting started or whatever, and so we kind of gave them a little bit of leeway there. We have had some competitors try to goose the numbers a little bit on the flower side. But we catch that shit, honestly. And the first one we let slide. But what we did was we take it out. And we measure it back up to a gram at the dispensary, right? So look, I don't blame anybody for trying. But, we really take this shit seriously, actually.
Let me give you a prop,
Yeah.
and really a pat on the back and say that out of all of the different competitions I've judged over the years, I can say that this one, even if I wanted to, with the exception of one flub out of all of them, all the stickers are gone, everything was
Mine's all
there,
fresh, mine's
and I'm
virgin,
sure
mine's
they
virgin.
thought I wouldn't be as anal.
Yeah,
You know.
no, I'm fucking anal, dude.
And
it's 40.
You don't know. There's no way you can tell. Whereas some other competitions, it literally came in the packaging with the company. Mark and I would laugh our asses off at it. It would tell you. It would be like no offense, Evo Labs or whatever it was. It would be straight up. There it is. But and you go, what the hell is going on here?
Well, look, it's there were things that happened when we started this. Like we started the magazine, and I only had like those working on our second issue, and we had other clients from the other businesses we did in the industry, and they came up to us after the High Times Cup, and they're like, dude, the highest paid sponsors all won. This was bullshit. We had better product. And I was like, look, and they were like, can you do a competition? And then they started saying, and here's what you got to do. You got to do this and you got to do this. And they basically described the High Times Cannabis Cup, which they did. And I kind of was like, so you don't like that one, but you want me to do that one. And I was like, that's not what we're going to do. And so I went around and I interviewed all of the people that I knew that were the best growers, that were the best edible manufacturers. I think I talked to Adam as well. I kind of went around and I said, what's the best? What are all your complaints about every competition you've ever done?
Look at he's got his pen out right now. He's ready to take notes.
Right. I'm starting on number one.
I even took a picture of everyone first.
How do you guys want your product judged? And that's how we built the competition. And I literally addressed everything they didn't like.
This cat right here took, perfect photos the same way. The cap on the right side, you know. I'm trying to keep up. I'm just bleary, I'm just trying to get the photo. He's got them gridded out, ready to go. So hopefully we did you righteous.
No, and like I said, we keep a list, man. If you're a judge for us and you don't get your votes to us on time, you are never allowed to be a judge again. But if you are a good judge,
I'm good at that. I'm really good at that.
So, I already told Dave. I was like, you have to task Adam on that shit.
I should be banned from every freaking show. I'm just like, whatever.
It sucks because I want it. It's just what it is, man. And like the judges come in and they're like, it's an amazing experience, but it is work. It is work. You have to be like anal about it.
But you presented us with the judging equipment so far ahead of when we have to have the samples in that there is no excuse that in some other competition cups that I've had to judge 20 samples in 3 days. Well, it's tough to do.
It is hard to do. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
I'm re-including the fact that the way you set it up is brilliant.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
It's like a double blind, and nobody can. I like the instructions you sent out. It's like use a water pipe, use a pipe, use a clean pipe.
Yeah.
Don't.
Well, look, a lot of you guys obviously know this shit, but a lot of people are coming new to the judging experience. And I've had people say, don't bring those kind of judges in, just go after the connoisseurs. And it's like, nah, they're the regular fucking people.
Exactly.
They need to have their voice, man. But they do need to know how to try some shit. But yeah, no, it's one of my favorite things is to like see the judges when they come in. I feel like Weed Santa. But I thank you guys for being judges year in, and I know this is your first time, but like we really like you're a great judge, Chris, and you bring a lot to the competition because the competitors, we share what you guys say about their stuff. We're transparent. We're like, here's the score you got on everything. And so like to me it's just easier to just be open and honest, and I don't judge it, nobody in my company does. So like we just facilitate this shit so that the competitors and the judges and they all get to know that they had like an honest experience.
I think where your staff and yourself can come into play is on the written comments. That you should find a way to read the written comments out loud, and then you collectively get to give a score that's maybe used in a tie-breaking situation.
Oh, that's interesting. We've never actually had a tiebreaker, but we've had it be close, by the way. It goes down to like the decimal points.
But that's for me, it's difficult. I put more effort into the I do score it, but it's all about the experience for me.
Interesting.
So I'm going back and changing things afterwards,
What's changing?
Well, as I'm sitting there using it, the product, right? Because I want to have my initial, how I'm feeling during it.
I get what you're saying. I do. But, for me, it's hard to quantify one person's comment is better than another when it comes to, like, weed to compare them as a tiebreaker. I get what you're saying. But, like, I have to do this in a numbers thing. So
watch there be a tie this year.
If there's a tie, there's a tie. I already decided. If there's a tie, there's 2 first places. I don't give a shit. That's how it's going to be. I'm not going to make one person beat the other person.
No, I like that.
You're just co-first. That's just what it is. Because like there's,
and the winner co-first.
Co-first.
I'm sorry, he wins. Stone Cold wins.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
It's completely wrong category, but whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it's actually it's become something that I think is taking on a life of its own. We're now like potentially taking this to other states by request. Mm-hmm. And I finally have somebody in Shay who you've already gotten to work with.
Yeah, she helped us.
Shay, I've trained a new person to do the job of my point person on this every year, and this job sucks, and it's never been made before for like most people. It's like, what's the training for organizing a cannabis competition? It's like, and there's
the whole point is you trick a new person every year. It's sort of like, that's what I was just. It's a little deal where you're like, dude, that was really cool. It's weed, and it's gonna be fun, and everyone does it.
They're so easy to work with, and they're laid back people.
The first time I did, because I did it all by myself for 4 years, so I know. I called everybody, I did everything, and like the first time I had some people do it, I was like, this job is fucking a lot of bullshit, and it's a lot of hell. It's a lot of conversation. It's like you're going to deal with a lot of stoners. You're going to have to explain things 10 times. You're going to have to make sure you got to stoner-proof everything you fucking do. And everyone's like, yeah, man, it's going to be cool. It's easy.
You have to put those baby sockets in so we don't stick our fingers in them.
And every year they've gotten into it, and it is this deer in the headlights moment for them. And I've been called in every single time to assist until Shay this year.
She did great.
No, and everybody's done great, by the way, because it's a lot, dude.
She communicated.
I'm an asshole of a boss because it's like, dude, but I'm right there with her.
At least you're aware.
I know, I do. But she was a judge for me since year one.
Right.
And she showed herself to be a super judge. She was a manager in the industry, and she was just like the perfect person to deal with me. And she's been fantastic. So now I'm like, okay, now we can take this to Chicago. Which I'm sorry, I just spilled the beans on that. That we're working on potentially doing that. That's that's not news because we
news.
That's a potential though that we're discussing, and and so like we can bring it to we start taking this to the newer rec markets and like creating a valid place for them to compete. That's our goal. Like is just giving that opportunity for everybody.
I think it would be interesting. You give double the samples, and if you're a Puffco Carta at home, you have to do each sample on both of them, score them independently, and see if it helps figure out which is the better, porter rig.
Ah, interesting.
Then you get a whole bunch of free Cartas and Puffcos for your team.
That's true. Yeah, we do get sometimes we get really great some great sponsorship where we get glass.
Sponsors. You mentioned sponsors. It's interesting. That's how we keep this show running.
Yeah, that's how you guys keep.
We brought on actually a new sponsor this week, which is really cool. So we'll talk about them and all our shout outs, and actually probably next week announce 2 additional sponsors coming on, but just have to clear with our legal team first, which means they need to pay their bill, and then we'll talk about them.
What's going on? Legal shit.
Oh, of course, we have legal. We have a whole legal team.
He just floats in on legal. He's like,
wait a second, is he getting sued again? Somebody's suing Adam Dunn? Fuck. No, we have a lot of support for the
value
show.
of that? Do you think the value of these competitions in these newer rec states is going to be higher than it is like in Colorado? I remember the hype. I remember the cups, the first cups, and like the first competition and everything. That everybody, how hyped everybody was, and how many people would show up at those, at like City Hall and all those big parties. Like, I feel like that potential thing in each of these emerging markets, you have that every single one of those markets.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. That's investors, anybody? But
that's the beauty. You get to reinvent it every city that it crops up in.
It's hard though because we'll have to build our compliance around what that city or what that state is dictating, because that's one of our things. Is everything we do absolutely has to be legal. It has to go through all legal means until it gets to the end user. And to do that and do it blind is really difficult, but it can be done. You just have to
I'm taking notes. He's taking notes over there.
You just have to live. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
What I know is there's a value for what we have been doing with the way we do the THC Championship, because once the notoriety of wait, this is how you guys judge cannabis. Oh, if they're a competitor, they're not allowed to be a sponsor of anything. They're just a competitor? No. What?
Wait, they don't have to give you money to compete?
No, they do. They have to give me an entry fee, but everybody pays the same amount of money, whether you advertise with me or not.
20 grand?
And it's the first conversation I tell them, too, is look, I don't care if you advertise. Please support me and advertise, but if you don't, even if you do, that has no bearing on whether you're going to win, because I do not vote. My employees don't vote. These people are voting. and they have no idea who you are when they're voting. And so, and then here's the data I'm sharing. It's so much easier to be honest.
You're a little white jar with no markings on it, other than a couple of signatures.
No markings on it. That's good. That's good. But yeah, so like
I gotta say though, I don't know many other companies that are calling their. I think I called you might have found one too, but I found one that was labeled creme brulee.
Okay, yeah.
Me too. That was the same one.
Wait, which category was that though? I'm sorry. Which category was that?
I took a picture of it. I'll show it to you. But I
there's
judged
some categories,
it before I
some things
peeled
end up
it.
not. Some categories end up not being blind really because of some factors. But like with the but that one slipped through the cracks. Then honestly, guys, sorry, because I think we were crossing off all of those on everybody. But
I had strain names on some of them, but
sometimes we can't get around it because it's the batch name, and we cannot cross that
in
shit
the
off.
batch name.
It is so like that. So if it's there, we couldn't help it, and because we had to stay. I mean, believe me, I want to just, but like. Somebody else said, like, well, why don't I just take the product out and then have a distribution point for it? But then
at least it's not the processor; it's just the strain name.
It's just the strain name.
Yeah, exactly.
So we prefer not to have that, but it can happen. But like we've had people.
If people were weird. If
Yeah.
you're really weird about that kind of stuff, and you're looking up license numbers on those batches.
I made it a point not to look.
Yeah, and we told people because you can look up the license number. I mean, look, it's the only way.
Everything up.
If you go in,
Because honestly, it would be super easy if we did just check out all the product over time and then did it. But then we have too much cannabis on us for the law, and that's one of our things is we're going to make sure that everything we do is legal. So we know when I go to the next state, they're like, "What's your record of how you operate this?" And I'm like, "It's freaking like crystal clean." And so that's one of the reasons why we do it. But look, to do the answer to the question on what you were saying about the value, it's something that I didn't even know was a big value until about a year ago. I did it because it was kind of asked for, and yeah, it helped keep my magazine afloat. Honestly, it like subsidized the magazine because that's expensive to keep rolling. But then I've had some owners come up to me, and one in particular. And he'll say it to anybody, is Ryan Buffkin from Den Rec, and he said, dude, you're the reason why I own my dispensary, this competition, because he wanted another dispensary that he was growing at, and then like when it came time for like him to be partners with the investors at his grow, he basically just said, here's the trophy of why you need to make me a partner.
Good for you.
Well, it's good for him. You know what I mean? All it is it's a forum for that shit. And that's when I was like, oh, wow, this is actually kind of an important, if you approach it that way, it has way more value than just an event.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And that, like I said, I think if you model that up and keep it the way you have been, that's brilliant. I definitely like the blind. I definitely like the way it's judged and scored. And
thanks, man.
I think it's good.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. I'm really sorry you're not here, man. It'd be great to see you, bro. But we'll have you at my studio too, because I'm gonna step back now because I've been talking for a lot. But yeah, we'll have to have you come over and see
all
us.
you. I'm just chilling today.
So what did you try? What sample did you just try?
Literally number one. I just told you.
Oh, you're starting for one. In which category are you judging right now?
The medical concentrate.
Medical. So it's okay. Got it.
I figured medical has like more wahoo involved, more woo last minute, like smaller batch.
Smaller batch.
It's like, going to be like higher wahoo factor. I'm thinking is what I'm thinking. That was my thinking.
I like that.
Less regulation.
You're going to have the new taste aroma wahoo.
Wahoo.
Yeah,
wahoo.
good.
Does it wahoo?
Good to know.
The wahoo factor is a little higher. Yeah. And exactly what I thought was our first, because it'll be like I think be all over the place on quality,
right?
And so it won't be like a trip down everything looking the same because it's all grown the same. It's,
right.
It'll literally be like shit. It's real dark, but it's really strong, and this stuff's. Because this one didn't look very good. It wasn't that great. It was like good. I'm glad to start somewhere in the middle.
Gotcha.
I don't want to. Because actually, I already looked at number 4, and number 4 is off the fucking chain.
Yeah.
So now I know.
You know which one you want to like hang on to.
Well, I just also not even that. Nothing's gonna hang.
It's gonna be gone tomorrow.
It's a one dab and It's like his dab, no problem. 2 dabs for me.
I got 4 out of it.
10 dabs for Dave.
10, fuck you.
Yeah, 10 dabs for Dave. Everyone's a little different, but in general, the quality difference between those two right there is going to be like astronomical.
Well, that's an interesting thing that you say. Maybe you should, in regards to things like appearance, so that you're judging adequately and weighing it properly, open them up all at the same time to look at them so you can really see. Because for me, it's
because
tough.
you're doing compare and
Well, because you're
contrast.
starting at first trying to go, I don't want to go too high.
Right.
Because where's the bar going to get set? So
No,
I think
and
he's
appreciate
kind of
that.
got something on that.
I appreciate that, and we eliminate the lowest score for every competitor as well, just because sometimes somebody has a bad day and like fuck this dab, and it's just like, and so we were like, let's just eliminate the lowest for everybody. Now, if you get two like low ass scores and they tied, you're only getting one gone. I'm sorry because you may be that bad. You know what I mean? But like so it's just everybody loses that
But I
that
think,
one bad day.
Well, because I'm only on sample 5 now, I think. So now when I get home, I'm gonna I'm gonna open the rest of them so I can take a look at them. I kind of though here's another the one ding, I guess, for giving such a small giving such a small sample.
Yeah.
I can't go back now
I know.
and say,
We
you
get
know
that
what,
comment.
I'd really like to look back at that because I'm on sample 13 right now and I think it's an 8, but I gave that fucking first one an 8 and I'm thinking now, man, I want to give that one a 6.
So there's 4,200 samples.
Is that all?
I know.
Did it work out that way?
So, no,
4,200
Well,
samples?
it's a little more than that, but I don't remember
I
the
think
exact
you've loved
number.
those numbers.
But we're at over 4,200 samples that we catalog. And so when we do that, we also have to look at rules like equivalency of how much product you can take out. And so if everybody was doing a half a gram, all of a sudden you have to make 2 trips to come pick up your box. And then seriously. And now,
I don't.
I know
you
you
were
don't
giving
care.
me a.
No.
No.
And so
Being a problem.
here's why it's
not
a
a
problem.
problem.
No one's complaining.
Here's why it's a problem. It's a problem
No one
because
is
generally
complaining.
you're getting 2 different boxes anyway. All right, as a judge, at the least, you're getting 2 boxes, and so we have some that are coming from the Colorado Springs. We have some that are coming all the way from Fort Collins, or from way out there. And so if they don't bring a friend, we try to make it logistically easy for a lot of people. Is part of it. But the other part is then they can have more categories to sample as well.
Listen, you're going to speak to a logistics expert about that, but I'm thinking a mobile delivery. You have remote.
If we had mobile
one in
delivery,
Fort Collins,
dude. If we
one in Colorado Springs, Denver. And you can come pick up over the course of 3 weeks.
You need to buy an old book van.
Again, the hard part is we're towing a line.
Like you walk on and you get your little.
The hard part about it though is because I would believe me, I'd love to do everything you're saying, but it's not legal, and so that's the problem. Like
That's the best part.
I know, right? It is.
Well, what about a dispensary in Colorado Springs that does distribution down there, where you would call ahead of time and you would fill out something and saying I'm coming on this day and.
I have a staff of 2 that does all of the work.
Oh.
Yes.
You want to borrow our staff of 20?
And honestly, this is the thing. This is still my baby where like I finally found somebody I trust. But there's no way I'm doing that unless I'm literally overseeing that person on their first round, right? So like it's just logistically not there to do it to make it like that. And also some just didn't want to give us a half when we first started doing this, believe it or not.
And they don't get to compete.
Well, then they shouldn't even
if you can't walk in with a jar and say,
no, look, and so we're potentially going to be changing this. So I do appreciate it. I'm just telling you this is where we are. We also have the clinic, which has been an amazing distribution dispensary for us, and we don't want to do anything to upset them because everybody respects the clinic. They all are very cool, and they know that their staff is going to be professional with their product. And so
aren't there like 52 clinics across the state, though?
Yeah, but this is the best one, and this is the one they want to use. But the problem is there's only so much space in that dispensary, and when you start looking at all these boxes, that it becomes a very big problem for them. So we also try to have a very small footprint where we are. And so if it was a bigger one, but honestly, I have to give a shout out to those guys. They're amazing. The staff has helped us, and this is the 2nd year we've done it with them, which is why it was really smooth this year. But it was even smooth last year. So
you're doing a great job, by the way. I mean, bravo.
well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But for us, we really want these guys to get the notoriety that they deserve. And it is that labor of love, right?
No, and it really feels. I think on vice versa on both sides, it feels really good when you're a producer like that and you win something like that. I mean, it goes to even goes to pat you on the back even more than what you are, especially when you can grow fire and you submit it and you and you win. Then
It's
You know,
it's
everything you've
validation
done is
for
really-
yeah.
really
it-
validated and vindicated. You know?
yeah.
Mike can do a internal cup at his spot with the 60
That's
different
right.
people.
Good.
Or
We kind
Oh,
of had
wow.
we had an
Yeah. You have
unofficial
quorum.
winner this year, but yeah.
and then just
you
kind
go.
of, especially if you get everybody on the same
We're gonna
path,
call it-
timing wise, and go like, all right, you got to
Call
have
it
this
the
much
basement
area,
cup,
right?
the basement cup or the closet cup.
The basement cup, the closet. We wanted
Well,
to
this
do
is the opposite. This is like out in the fucking
well.
greenhouse cup.
Adam, you remember before
Greenhouse cup.
the Hood Lab got shut
do an
down.
outdoor cup.
Basically,
Never got shut down.
No,
Just ran out of
We
product.
just decided that we had it.
Whatever.
The place got sold.
Got it.
So
Okay.
We never got
All right,
ran
all right.
out of town.
Okay.
It was
No,
the
it's not the drum. But remember, we were starting to plan to do a growers cup,
Mm-hmm.
like a home growers cup. We were going to call it Marijuana Madness, and we were going to do it at your spot. And
Of
that was
course.
going to be
anything named Marijuana Madness would be at my spot.
Of course it would. And we were going to do the whole bracketed system. We were. I remember it was like your weed against this weed. Here's 4 professionals that are going to smoke
yeah,
it.
no,
It was the exact opposite of the THC championship, by the way, where you have time. In this one, it was going to be like a 2-day just smoke it fast bracketed system of who, and 2 men enter 1 joint leaves.
Pretty much what the ADSI turned into
Yeah.
for the short,
Yeah.
beautiful time it was there, and now it's evolved to some other other jokers are doing that now too. So it's happening. But in general, I think cannabis event they're hard to time because your whole thing is when you do it like too tight, it's like it doesn't make sense. But also when you do it too long, it's really hard to keep focusing with people, and sometimes you get like half those people don't even fucking pay attention to it.
We have a little bit more of that problem because ours is longer. And, and we're actually having to delay. We just gave our judges extra time.
I saw that.
So the reason why is we have these great little green, emerald green, like glass crystal looking trophies, right? And they've kind of they've become very recognizable in dispensaries in Colorado. If somebody wins, they put them up there. And so those trophies are made in the Wuhan Province of China. Shit! So we won't be So we basically just ran through the problem of: are we going to have an award show without any awards?
Yes.
No. So
not from fucking Corona trophies.
no. Yeah. Well.
Hey, it's Barca
So
coronavirus.
I actually,
guys. Don't
don't
get it wrong.
I actually put it out for our competitors, and I said, "Look, here's the deal, guys. We were planning on having our awards party on April 11th, but I hadn't even signed the deposit or anything yet on the space. I was still figuring out which one I was going to be using within that time frame. And but I didn't tell them that, obviously. And I was like, look, here's the deal. You can have an award show with no awards on the time that we said, or we can just delay until we have the awards and do the awards party. And then I was like, or who's out there who doesn't give a shit? And then basically, it was so it was option 1, 2, and 3 basically, or whatever, or one was let's delay. And so I let them vote for it. And actually, I haven't gotten a chance to tell them yet. So hey, breaking news right here. But they we are going to be delaying it. They voted. The vote was not overwhelming, but it was enough of a majority that was we'll take the delay on the show. And so we're going to be going in May now. But that's the problem. We have I feel bad because now there's all this time period where they're not going to know,
Oh, well.
do we win or not.
That's all right.
Well, I gave you a $0.25 Should have gave a $0.5 grand. We would have had the shit done earlier.
That's a
Yeah, you fucking bastards.
Yeah, but it happens, man. It happens.
Grumpy Adam.
Yeah, I know. Who said
I guess
that?
I'm grumpy today.
Yeah, somebody said you kind of do sound a little grumpy. But actually,
always grumpy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think
weird
you're always.
lighting
I think it's just because my beard's so big now. It's I look grumpier than normal.
If you guys want to go as Adam for Halloween, you go to the terrorist section in the Halloween store for the beard. That's where you grab it. They've got them.
It's getting there. It is getting a little,
Well, I'm looking on this monitor. I'm like, holy shit.
We need to do some more white streaks, and you are going Osama on us. So
Yeah, you need to color it like the way they do a ski slope so people could get the contrast to it and see where the edges are. Something like that?
I do need to do that. Yes, I do that. I thought about that.
See, look at that. I'm not even original on the joke.
What was that?
Speak.
One skunk stripe.
What's that?
One
What's
white
that?
skunk stripe right down the center of it.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like it's sort of happening on the side. We'll see if it happens. The skunk stripes. It's going to have to happen naturally, though. I'm not going to put a skunk stripe in.
No, you're not going to do that. Yeah.
No skunk stripe. But we are going to be selling space on my forehead, so any new sponsors that would like to join up, you will rent this space right here, so it'll keep it from shining.
That's good real estate.
It's big. It's big.
That's right.
There you go.
It's
Prime
big.
sponsor.
Everyone agrees it's large. Yeah.
I'm thinking Area 420 and the HC Magazine might want to.
We can.
Take out a couple, yeah. You could do a page spread.
Right?
I heard Reynolds Rap already bought up the space for a little while.
Trying to send him in. No, he's busy doing something else. He's not going to put that fucking hat on me.
He never would do that. He wouldn't do that.
He would never do that.
He would not.
I'll get out of the shot, man. I'll just sit like this, right?
So, Chris, now originally the whole idea was to have you here to smoke all your weed, obviously, first of all, because you're going to come with all the different samples. So I was all stoked. Went and bought a brand new pack of papers. I think it was fresh.
Look at these fresh papers. You didn't even use any of the tips yet. Ready to go.
Pull the yellow out while I was here. Just like, okay, well, let's go to get to town.
What's crazy is Adam is one of the best joint rollers I've ever seen.
Oh, goodness. You haven't been here in a while, then.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I do roll good joints. I roll good joints. Don't worry.
I can outdo him.
Why? He does them different.
Outdo me.
Outjoint him.
Dude, I gotta say though, I've known a lot of crazy stoners, but my weed, where I realized that Adam was like ridiculous, was at Bongathon, and he had to you had to fill in for like a team.
For 6 judges,
and it was 5 or 6 man bong.
Yeah. I filled it for the whole team.
You had to smoke a whole ounce of weed with your team on this hookah. It was a hookah. It was like a 5 or 6 man hookah. And I mean, it was.
I just trained everybody quickly because they were all. If they didn't, they would have been fighting each other because they were all trying to hit on the hookah at the same time. So I'd have to go like heave ho, heave ho.
You know what's funny?
I think the whole ounce was gone in like less than 3 minutes or something crazy like that.
Oh my God.
And everybody else around, there was some solid stoners there. They were still like going for another few minutes before anybody caught up to them.
Is it like that scene from Half Baked? He glowed green and then floated off the couch.
No, it was ridiculous, dude.
It wasn't really ridiculous, but it was.
Well, to you it was.
It was stoner training. It was just like getting everybody in. It was like herding cats for about 30 seconds, and then everybody started. At first, they were like, everyone was going at the same time, and I was like, it's not working, dude. You got like fighting against each other. It's like, no, left side, right side,
Right.
boom, 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 break it up.
Adam just had dinner reservations. He needed everybody to bong quick.
And then I just, that was it.
That was that.
That's the left side, right side. That's the key to 5 man or 6 man bong.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like getting teams,
I didn't know that was what was going on.
teams working like little.
That makes sense.
All right, now we're doing it.
Adam sitting there on the couch with his legs up. Just
It was like Sparta. I was like Sparta. I had like a whip, and I was all.
I am Spartacus.
And everyone was like,
This is Bongathon.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it was in my mind all that was really happening, but no. I think Kim Sidwell was there though, so
she was. I think she covered some of that.
I think somewhere in her deep back fucking part of her fucking catalog is to those shots. So
she has such a catalog; it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to another 10 more years or so. That'll be like epic shit.
Oh my god!
Like, oh my god! 20 years ago, I remember.
Yeah, totally.
Remember when your
everything
son
is
was
always
just born?
20 years ago,
Right.
especially in the industry right now, because that was when it was like actually starting. Now it's
20 years ago. It really was 20.
pretty much.
You remember 1990? Crap. Yeah, 1999.
1990 was a drought.
Yes, you remember the drought. Remember the
Fuck
signs
yeah.
on Federal?
Everywhere.
If you
It
think
was
it's
hard. It was
dry
ma-
now, wait till
Right.
October with the big pot leaves.
Yeah. It was the worst time ever.
That was right before I went to the joint. Right after that. Yeah.
There was no grass around. It was
No, that's when all the shit started coming in from Vancouver, and you started seeing the
BC buds, yeah.
and the cat piss, and shit like that.
And my first probably CBD ounce that I've talked about in the past, where we smoked the whole ounce and
Didn't get
an hour, didn't get high.
Those were fucked up.
But they sold those stickers all over Dead Tour. It was in '91. It was I survived the drought of '90.
I remember somebody getting beat up at Dead Tour in the early 90s because
No.
it felt 10 ounces.
Well, luckily, in my 150
somebody-
plus shows, I've never witnessed a fight at a Grateful Dead concert. Thankfully.
I don't know if they were beat up or if they were just taken off lot.
Yeah.
We never know what happens. When
No,
they
I've seen
take
some
it off.
assholes trying to sell tickets for the wrong price, and maybe they weren't real, get taken down, but never a.
Do you know the
he said,
reason
she said.
behind the drought of '98?
It was Nancy
You're talking
Reagan.
98. You're talking 90. There's
90.
two droughts. We're talking
Yeah,
two.
I'm
Well, I'm
different now.
talking '98 out here in
I'm
Colorado.
double
I'm a little
drought.
older than you, son.
Okay. There was another drought.
And,
Chris, do you know
I
the
think
drought of
98 was
'98?
Ken
Chris,
Gorman
are you familiar with this? You were here. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, I was here. It's because I think it's because Ken Gorman got it.
Who?
Ken Gorman.
Oh yeah. Do you know about that case?
No.
He was a big. That's when I met him. We were moving weight, and then we couldn't find any more south on the border of Mexico.
Oh, that's terrible.
So big, okay.
The brick started changing color. It came from Colombia around '98.
Well, now you're talking about Narco season 2.
Yeah.
It's narco with a capital CO. Narco.
Yeah.
Colorado narcos.
No,
Colorado?
my first experience with the drought was 1990 when Nancy Reagan's camp program basically pulled all of the Northern
Campaign
California
against marijuana planting.
Yeah.
I remember California.
outdoor. So it was on Dead Tour.
That's
That's
right.
where really all the grass came from. We didn't smoke that shit. And it dried up super quick. I mean, it was to the point where heads weren't even sharing joints with people. You know, you would pack a bowl, like almost like that one-hitter bat, because you couldn't find it. You couldn't, and when you did, you wanted to buy everything the guy had, and then you realized, holy shit, I'm in New York and I have more than what would take for some cop to say, to Rikers you go. So it was a rough time back then. I wish I would have known the bro.
I've never had to deal with a drought, actually, in what you're talking
Fuck
about,
you.
honestly.
Never had to. Come on now.
No, well, I worked at, you know what, I was a bartender and worked in a nightclub, so we were like, and we were in Chicago. We were good. I mean, it was usually, we expected Oregon, we eat a lot of Northern Lights and shit, or wherever it was coming from.
Everything was probably making it out there from where it was
Yeah,
grown, so
yeah.
there wasn't much of a drought. It
Yeah,
was
we didn't have an issue.
different sources.
I think, or at least,
Does anybody else hear that ocean? I'm hearing it now.
I hear it.
Ocean.
I hear the ocean.
Ocean.
Hope it's
Oh,
not
that's
fucked up
Chris.
soon.
That's Chris. We're in Chris's ocean.
Okay,
Chris's
good.
where are you?
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, Chris.
Good.
Are you
He's
sitting?
really at the beach.
Who's that?
It can't be Chris. So
Is that
maybe
James?
answer it,
Is that James?
I don't know.
Could be.
Well, we're gonna drop Chris if we answer it.
Oh, Chris.
Chris, we'll call you back.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's Chris.
Oh, that is Chris.
That's so funny.
So then the ocean is not Chris.
Oh, where'd the ocean come from
I
then?
don't know.
There's
I
a
don't think
fan
you're
on.
leaving.
Where?
Did someone turn the fan on?
Does Mike Denver, can you hear the ocean? I guess we'll find out in 30 seconds, right, when the chat catches up.
I don't know.
But it's probably a good time to thank the wonderful sponsors.
No,
that
we do
support
have
the
to because we have
show.
20 minutes left. So we have to do a sponsor shout out, which always ends up taking about 20 minutes because
Right.
we're so lame. we torture people with our sponsorship.
No, this is
But it's-
great.
No, but
Listen,
I'm
if
gonna
you have
say-
a business out
Hey,
there and you want to get on, give
thing
me a
is,
call and we'll
This is
discuss
when all the
sponsorship.
deals happen. This is when you're making millions. Millions.
The Dunn deal at Apothecary Extracts, when I work it out with them next week, is going to be amazing. The Dunn deal at Ruby Pearl Co. is 25% off any pearls from their shop. Just enter Dunn deal. The Cured by Design people are going to have something going. We just worked something out with fish shit. So we'll go
Boom.
through the list and
Let's
talk to you.
start. Let's start with our
Oh, see, Mike Denver hears the ocean.
premium.
You hear the ocean. Uh-oh. Fuck.
So just check everybody's mic or check outside there because the only thing is that fan that I turned
no ocean
off,
in
but
Colorado.
maybe somebody went out there and.
Mike, you going to tell us that ocean was on for the whole show, or did it just start?
No.
It's just kind of.
Okay. Ah,
We're really in Cali.
good. No, then
all
it's
a
okay.
lie. It's all out here in Colorado.
Oh, Can Fan, our favorite. Well, they don't sponsor the show, Can Fans. They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, go get the fuck out of here.
That's cool. Yeah, it's cool. That helps a lot right there.
There we go. Perfect. That was great, Mark. Thank
That
you.
helps a lot.
So we rely on you guys for help, man. If something like that happens, you can just interrupt us.
Oh, yeah.
and
Once
say-
they hear the ocean, you give
Yeah.
us a call because we're not near the ocean at the moment. And if we are, fucked
New
up.
MillenniumNutrients.com.
Don't need to be near the ocean. You need to go to New Millennium. Yes, go to New Millennium. Go there if you want. If you're here in Colorado, I mean, I don't know.
They deliver.
It's a big old warehouse.
They ship it to you.
You'll be like, what? No, they do. They put out some serious product right now, and it's like one of those things where when you're home grow, you obviously want to have easy to do, but when you're doing anything on scale, you got to have products that are 100% going to pass up through all the inspections and importantly,
all that shit.
and exactly, and on top of that, be easy to use and not make sure because you have a team of people, you don't have one guy, and so
Are they based in Colorado?
yeah, they're based in Colorado, and so they have super easy to use products, like amazing results, and again, like the guys who started it, the coolest part about it is that they're industry insiders who've been doing nutrients for 40 years, and like the guys who developed Bud Blood, which was one of the first products that ever came out.
What a great name.
That was like it was a high potassium that you hit later on in flour, and it was like one of the first sort of one of the first sort of additives that people had. So you're like, oh shit, and then they he was also working for a lot of other. At the time, there was only a few brands and putting out all the smart shit that when you kind of looked at it, you're like, oh yeah, okay. That shit is the only one that worked out of a whole formula anyway. But their whole line is also super easy to use. Goes by seasons. You got spring, obviously, for the beginning, and you got your summertime for your early growth, and fall for your late, and winter to knock that bitch down, and you're good to go. So.
And if you have questions, call them up, ask them. They'll answer your questions.
And always
they're all really nice guys.
Super cool and knowledgeable, and also just done deal every time. They'll send you a box of testers, all sorts of good stuff.
And don't just go there, buy the stuff right now, get so stoned and forget to mention the done deal. Then when you paid your invoice, then you go, oh fuck, I should have saved. I'm gonna call them back. No, there's no calling them back afterwards. Just fucking remember the next time the done deal and place your order.
Do the done deal everywhere, man.
Yeah, man.
Everywhere.
Chinese restaurants. We talk about that all the time.
No, and definitely at gas stations because everyone's sleepy there, and you do the done deal here, right? And they're like, what? Oh, what do they think it's like some new
told I get 10% off my gas.
Some new lottery thing.
They have.
Yeah.
Just to place.
10% off a free magazine.
There you go.
Just name your
10% off a free magazine. Definitely.
What's the math on that?
Name your price.
You pay me, fucker. NewMillenniumNutrients.com. Oh, look who we have here.
Oh my God!
Did
we just expose ourselves that we're in front of a giant sheet and we're going to?
Oh, because it's green and it's not working? There we go.
Oh my God, here we are.
The most reliable, consistent edibles company in Colorado. Incredibles Edibles.
Yes.
Yeah,
but we have no idea what it is because it's gone right now, and all we see is the screen.
Oh, we see big creamy yummies.
Yummy. I had an affogato bar the other day.
Oh, that's my favorite, man. That affogato, because I love coffee and chocolate.
I did give Bob some crap though. You always have to make sure to rinse out afterwards because you get the
you'll get the seeds in there. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to get that out.
Yeah.
But
and then Bob smiled with a big seed stuck in his. Totally. he gave one of those. He
doesn't eat his own. No. He's in his CBD new CBD line, and we'll have actually graphics on that in the next week or two. He's going to send us, but he has a whole new CBD line coming out on a we'll call it a sister company under a new brand. So you'll love it.
And there's a done deal attached to that one, or we're going to have it in house to be able to give away.
Yes, we will be able to.
Yes.
But I like the 50 milligram gummies. That's my favorite one.
Oh, you like those? Those are good.
I dig them. Yeah, they are the best.
They seem to work. Everybody seems to have a good feedback on that. And that's the thing with them. Consistency is the key, and that's the best thing about any edible company.
Did you go to their thing?
What thing?
They did a paired food thing.
No.
Oh, man.
Can I give a little plug for your sponsors here?
Well, no, because now I'm going to be pissed at why Bob didn't invite me to the fucking paired food thing.
There was it was basically because it was a hint. Well,
because I'm probably too uncouth for him.
No, it was.
That's one reason.
It was their best.
It was Give us another reason.
I'll believe that. It was their best. It was their best customers because they did this huge deal where they were like, they're about to explode, as you guys probably have known.
We do. We kind of know that. We know that. There's an explosion about to happen.
I might be one of their best customers.
And so it was a thank you, and we were pressed, so that's why we got to get in there. I guess.
We get to get in.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Well, no, but we're family. Like, I married their top salesperson is married to my business partner, Christiana, and Jay Brown.
I married their top business partner.
They're salesperson to my business.
You dark helmet.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work there.
It is a lot of work.
So you
I
married.
was the reverend.
That's what I mean. You were the one marrying them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
married
yeah,
them.
yeah. The Incredibles and the HC Magazine family were actually
Wow.
friends.
Did you put together a dynasty or
I
something?
know, no, not at all. That's but it was so mafia, right? On the day of my daughter's wedding. So they did what they did though. They had a chef who was like some chef from Chopped, and they did a pairing of the appetizer was paired with it was like a encrusted goat cheese with strawberries and all this stuff, and that was their strawberry crunch. And then they did.
You can shut up now.
I'm sorry. I'll stop talking.
No, keep going. Please
No. And honestly, it's funny because I went to take pictures of it because I'm like, I should cover this shit because I'm terrible at Instagram, but I should totally start doing that, right? And I kept forgetting because the food was so damn good, and we kept eating it. It was like, here's this half-eaten bit of food you're not gonna understand. But it was actually amazing because you paired you take a bite of their candy and then you go with the food.
I understand. As a C-list entertainer, I understand not getting invited to some of these A-list cannabis parties. But it's okay.
A-list.
Now that I'm glomming on to Dunn, maybe I'll get invited to some of these things.
But no, it showed a lot of class.
And glom he does. I tell you, this guy gloms.
This guy gloms. This guy brought in almost 3 new sponsors by next Friday.
I know.
So,
He's a glom. Yeah, that's part of the glom. You're good.
Yeah, baby.
Live the glom.
And I did see Mike from Cured by Design was in the chat room today. Hopefully he has some good news for us. But either way, great CBD products down in Colorado Springs. You ought to give them a look-see. Done deal will be in effect, and we'll make some announcements.
Yes, sir. And Build a Soil.
Buildasoil.com.
I got like an email or a text today the other day, which is pretty much how awesome Jeremy was because somebody was working with him on site and just oh my God, your guy is amazing. So I was like, once again, as usual,
living soil.
Just these guys know what's up and they can help you develop a great soil regimen and have your fucking finger on the pulse because they all do, so you'll know what IPM to use, what time of year. He'll walk you through any of that kind of stuff, and on top of that, if you live here in Colorado or if you're in New Mexico, you can get a free shipping, so that's a pretty dope deal.
Got to order $500, but
but then you get a bunch of crap.
They'll ship it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
For free.
And it's always a good thing, especially in the grow world, because that's where they get you.
And we did see them at the Indo Expo, and they did give me a shirt to wear, and for some reason, I just have misplaced it at the moment, guys. So as soon as I find it in my pile of clothing, I will wear it on the show.
What day did that happen?
The Indo Expo.
Oh no, okay, so it was a while ago. Never mind.
Yeah.
You lost it then?
No. It's in my room somewhere.
You lost it then.
It's
okay.
It's no, I have it. I know I have it.
I was just double checking to see because I thought
it's a
that could have
black
added
shirt,
points.
and I wear a lot of black, so it's kind of I got to hold one up and check
if
them out.
If it was more recent, I would say possibly it could add points on the sample that you had smoked. Be like, whoa, I lost all my shit, lost everything. that would automatically just jump up.
I smoked sample too, and then I couldn't find my pants.
So that would be like a fuck. That would adjust the numbers.
I want to, I kind of want to do an award for here's a secondary comment, and whoever does the funniest comments about the weed gets an award as a judge. Just ridiculous. Oh, because I did smoke one. I did smoke one of them, and I started cleaning the fucking house and doing all this other shit, and I was like, dude, that sample made me want to be a better man, and I was like, oh, because I did. I fucking kept doing shit, and it was just stupid. It was stupid. I was like, what else can I do in my house? What else can I do? I gotta fucking get all this shit
done.
Dude,
that was crack.
I know, totally. You think it was? It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't it,
was
man.
a good strain, though.
That was it. But do you know if they
did
use
you
Build a Soil?
Did you finish anything? That's the question.
What? I actually did.
13
I'll do that all the time for a minute, and then I'll be like, I got half of those things halfway done, so I'm pretty good.
Dude, there's half a staircase right outside. I don't know why it's there.
Honey, I left you something. I got to go now, and I'll be back tomorrow or later. Yeah. Buildasoil.com.
But these guys don't do that. They'll help you make it happen. Every time, and again, done deal. Every time you check out, hit done deal. I think it's like 7%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start ordering some serious shit, that can add up. And
if a testament to how good they are is the amount of growers that stood around their booth all day. Every time at Indo Expo, they were always 4 or 5 people deep. And so that has to say something about what they're doing in a room full of nutrient vendors. They were always crowded. And they have nice T-shirts.
Oh, that's it then. That's all I'm going to go for. No, they're awesome. Jeremy, once again, super knowledgeable. Listen to any of the old episodes with him on here. You'll learn something every time. If you go back to, I think it's the nitrogen one from way back in the day with the kid. Kid falls asleep. That's a good episode. Because it's like once he got into anything that started getting scientific, he started getting head nods.
The kid fell asleep on
and
the air.
He completely fell asleep.
That's great.
I think it was a nitrogen episode.
Well, keep it up. BuildASoil.com. Love you guys.
Yes, check them out. And Green Farms, they were bummed that they didn't get their logo up, but we were kind of tight. I was kind of tight on space, and I need that new logo transparent because I couldn't fit
greenfarmsmed.com.
So sorry guys, but amazing guys running no-till in the springs. So if you're a medical patient and you want to get some properly grown clean cannabis, and also amazing rosin, like their rosin.
Dude,
look at that.
That looks amazing.
It was over 20% terpenes, 27% terpenes.
It was crazy.
It was like nuts. They were like, fuck, and that's just rosin straight. There's no bullshit, it's like, so it's organically grown, squished with pure pressure fucking setup down there and done well, and just fucking like, they were like, that doesn't even make sense. Like everything else is like 5s and like 10s a lot, and 15's unheard of, and all of a sudden
20 is setting a new bar.
Like 27. It was like, oh yeah, so this is like 20. I think it was 24.7 is what it was.
And if you guys are Instagram people, you have to follow all of their feeds. So it's like Green Farms 719, Green Farms Feed and Seed, Green Farms Med. Listen, many of the cannabis businesses that exist in the retail world, without somebody doing research, seeing the sign that says nothing for fucking sale here, they don't matter and they get shut down. So they have multiple accounts. Make sure you follow them all. They have a sick Instagram feed. I mean, I know there's a lot of pot porn out there right now, but this is A-list pot porn.
Well, it's just nice knowing that it's all fully organic and no-till all the way, even indoors, which is a lot of work and kind of not so costly. We
probably dropped someone.
We lost Chris, of course.
Did we?
No, Chris is there. Isn't Chris there?
Yeah, Chris is here, right?
Chris, we'll call you back if that's...
No. All right.
Okay. Call me back.
All right.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello?
Who we got? We're doing shout-outs now, so who we got?
Who are you?
No, that's Skunky.
Oh,
Did I win?
No, there's nothing to win today, Skunky, but how's everything going? How's your win?
But we have some stuff coming in our giveaways. Ruby Pearl Co's is going to be giving away beads, and a sponsor who we'll announce in a few minutes is going to be giving away $499 worth of nutrients every single month. So we'll figure out
$499.
And 99 cents. I'll just throw 99 cents in there. Just do it. And 99 cents.
Yeah, let's do that.
5 liters.
5 liters
Nice
every
round
month.
number.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, Skunky,
I
nothing to win.
didn't mean to interrupt, but
It's all right.
Too late,
what I
Skunky.
want.
No, good try though. Usually it's like we throw it out there and we have to wait around for fucking some hits on the bobber. So
You're like calling the Howard Stern show to ask if you can play a game to win $500.
definitely.
Well, I got the double ender Illuminar, and y'all were asking last week for picks, and maybe I will submit some to you in the next week.
Please.
Via email or text if I have some contact info. So we'll show some results.
We're still 3 sponsors away from Illuminar, though, so we can't go there just yet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You guys.
You almost nailed it with the segue. What am I doing?
Almost.
Almost.
Would have been perfect. But how's that? Wait,
$500 in nutrients is a deal. Somebody needs to jump on it.
What stage are you at with those lights that you got? Like, what are you doing under them right now? You got something in flower yet, or is it all just veg, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we're coming into the home stretch on the flush.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
So, those photos should be sweet.
Right.
Awesome. All right, well, cool.
Thank you, Skunky.
Okay. Take care, bud.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Right on.
Peace.
So greenfarmsmed.com. If you're in Colorado Springs, you got to hit them up.
Or go to what's up?
Check all Chris back.
We can wait a minute.
Okay,
So yeah,
cool.
he's
All
not
right.
just waiting on the line while
All
we're
right,
doing this.
let's do this.
But you go to also their Green Farms
Feed and
Seed in Louisville if you want to pick up any kind of grow inputs, which a lot of them are from from Build a Soil.
Build the soil.
No, Way to Grow is an old sponsor.
Yeah.
They might be back. You never know.
You never know.
They're back on the
I'll
track.
get on them.
They're good people.
Or you can always reach out to us. You don't have to wait for my call to see if you want to sponsor. You can give us a call.
Yeah, anybody. It's like
No.
He'll take anybody.
I've learned Adam has set the bar. His standards. Certain companies don't cut the mustard.
Well, not only that, but I can't go.
McDonald's wanted to sponsor. He said no. Okay, I'm just saying.
Call them clowns.
Yeah.
Well, like you want the trust of
Move it
everybody,
along,
man. You
Mark
can
is
have
telling
those-
us.
Yeah, Mark is like he wants to go
He
home.
wants
He's
out.
tired.
No, I'm
He
just
is
saying,
tired.
dang.
You going to a concert tonight
No,
or something?
I'm not
What's
doing
going
shit.
on?
No,
I'm not doing anything.
It's okay.
Somebody says we should go till 9.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
let's-
push-
Yeah, don't listen to them.
That's fine. I don't
Don't listen to
That
them.
guy's-
Ignore
he's
them.
still-
They're going to make fun of me.
That guy is still in the Home Depot.
covering my
That's
head.
the same guy from Home Depot.
Well, we just got hung up on this one with the phone call and stuff. So
Yes.
that's all I'm saying.
But
Yes.
greenfarmsmed.com, Green
100%.
Farms Feed and Seed, organic.
All
Give 'em a
organic,
chance.
organic across the board.
Yep.
And
Who's next?
next one,
Oh,
boom.
I messed up because I was
fucking
talking.
A.
It's okay. It's okay. We're
I'm
there.
the worst. I'm the worst.
But we don't have the background.
Oh yeah, we're there. We're there.
What's going on?
Man, we're just floating in space right now.
What's
We're
going
all
on?
floating in space.
Should we talk about
There
Treasure?
we
Yeah, well,
go.
Treasure is going to be our home base
Treasure.
when we are in Barcelona in a few weeks. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, when we're on
Your
the
ghost.
coronavirus, when we're there,
Oh, fucking shut
getting
up
the
about
virus
that
and
shit.
spreading it. We're going to bring it all back.
Oh, great.
Motherfucker.
On the
Glad I'm
rig.
meeting today, man.
Sponsored by.
I'm gonna lick my airplane
Whoops.
seat.
Oh,
That's it. You got
cap
it.
down, cap down.
Yeah.
That's what the carpet is for today, because Adam drops his carb cap.
No, that's
It
pretty much
won't
what it's going to
break.
be like, though. You're going to drop one carb cap on the flight. Oh, what?
On the flight?
And that's it. All of a sudden, you're like, "Oh, sorry, man." I got resin. It turns out that resin just holds the coronavirus in perfect suspended animation for an extra 24 hours.
It's like the mosquito in Jurassic Park.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Fucking God.
Yeah, dude.
Or we-
Treasure Barcelona, guys. You get the done deal there. They usually charge 25 or 30 euro to come in for the membership fee. Just have to mention the done deal. And they waive that fee. If Pete's there, you have to walk up to him, give him the secret handshake. You say, done
rub his
deal,
little,
Pete.
Rub his little bald head.
And
Go,
you ask for a
eek, eek,
joint.
eek, eek. Yeah, give him with your elbow. If there's
Yeah.
you'll, like elbow rub on the forehead. So that's the secret.
Don't
message.
do that. You will not get a free joint. Ask
that is a
nicely
secret.
and sweetly. Offer him a hug. Tell him how you think about his place and that you want him to stay in business. But
Dude,
Treasure
your forehead,
Barcelona.
your forehead shine is the only thing keeping Elko awake.
Yeah, you ring the doorbell. You say, "I'm here for the done deal." They let you in. Thank you, Elka. You bastard. Son of a bitch.
And they're going to be obviously getting all geared up. I called them the
Yeah.
other day, getting all geared up for the Cannabis. In a way, I mean, it's like kind of what it was in Amsterdam. You didn't have to even be in it; just so many people coming through.
Right. There's a competition every day going on at Treasure.
It's every day.
Yeah.
All right. Boom.
Really nice place.
Extract Craft. Also, if you're interested in doing extraction, tabletop, small size, but good for the guys who you don't have enough to go to some huge production person, and you want to kind of control because they want 50% right out of the gate. So you're like, wait a minute, I have to go 4 times as much to make it even worth my time because you're going to rip me off like a huge amount, whatever the good shit is. You're taking it all anyway.
Right.
I don't trust nobody. But
No. Extractcraft.com.
you go straight to extractcraft.com, tell them about the done deal, pick up one of these units. Small one is the source is like, it does about an ounce at a time. The other one does 4, so like a quarter pound at a time, which is kind of perfect for tabletop.
Yes, we've been threatening for about 7 months now to have them on the show,
Yeah,
and we
they've been
will
bus-
have them
we-
on the show.
we
We met them at
will.
Indo again, so
Yeah.
they'll come on.
Yeah, we're not threatening anything. There's no threats. We don't threaten
We
around here.
want to have them on the show, and we want to do a run.
The reason that they're not on the show is because they're fucking busy as fuck.
Yeah.
They're cranking out so many, and they do them in Longmont, and you see the production, and it's like, okay, these guys are just putting them together like kind of like, I always think of them as like old espresso machines where you can tell every part can be replaced. It's not all injection molded bullshit that's like, okay, well, that's, once that breaks, you're fucked. It's like, nope, anything goes wrong, you can get it replaced and keep it going and send it in. So I like that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's good to get on that. Yeah, because once it's like, all slapped together, it's going to throw away.
What's nice about this is for people that are, growing hemp and getting ready to send in for extraction, you can do a test run here and see what you're working with.
Well, that, and also, what I was thinking too is like, from a non-cannabis point of view, it's just thinking most people have a farm that's sitting on the place and they got all this other plants around that they don't even, utilize. It's like, all of a sudden you're like, hey, look at that. Fucking,
I'm a mad scientist, a botanist.
This shit's growing like crazy over here, like a bunch of lavender or whatever it is, and pull out some other stuff too. That's the cool part about it, I think, because it's like you have that ability to do short runs of little things and not have to, obligate yourself to some gigantic fucking $20,000 machine and or give it to somebody else. And plus you learn, the whole way. So
and you don't have to worry about what you're going to put in here to use as your solvent because they have a sister company, 420 Extractor.
Which is Mystic Mountain is the distillery here in Colorado. So they already making alcohol for the distillery. Saw the reality that they know the guys from the extract craft and they were like, well, we can make this for you. And so they kind of custom made it for that machine and or just for extraction and purposes in general. So it's kind of like, okay, it's nice when they know what it's for. It's not like, here's some Everclear, don't even extract out of it. Instead you got something that's like actually made here locally too, so it's sourced really good.
Yeah,
it's perfect. My wife has bought that. You can get it in the liquor stores.
There you go.
There's
here, available in liquor stores. We were saying people will be drinking it because they'll be like, drink more.
No.
Extract my soul.
Extractcraft.com. 420 Extractor. And this is something that I found too is you have to type on Instagram to follow them 42 and an O.
Yeah.
You can't use a 0.
No,
you will not find them. So
it's
you have to use the O. Yeah.
420
I just lost about 58 to 72% of the stoners have just gone off the ground. Couldn't figure it out. It was too hard.
10 years, bravo. Happy birthday today, guys. It's their birthday. Or yesterday was the actual day. But yes, they're celebrating the whole week up until the 23rd. What's today's date?
21st.
21st. You got 2 more days. I'm talking amazing out the door deals on flour and concentrate, and they do their own squish. So they have their own 14er manufacturing live rosin. They have their live resin processed by Apothecary Extracts right here, and also Colorado Supply Co. And I gotta say that the Straw Nana and the Golden Glue, I believe, are just absolutely exceptional today. I picked up 4 grams of the Lost Tribe rosin, and it's, it'll probably be gone tomorrow because I smoke so much of it. But you got to give them a chance. They're in Boulder, 28th and Mapleton, right across from the YMCA ball fields. Please do walk in there. If you're passing by, say you heard about them on the Adam Dunn show. They don't have the Dunn deal right now, but it would be really cool to ask for the Dunn deal. They sell a really cool strain there. It's The Truth by Deadhead OG, which is a Deadhead Jamaican cross. Happens to have the name DJC, which happen to be my initials, and they stick my face on the can.
Now he invented it.
I am so... They can do no wrong by me. I had nothing to do with it. All I said was cross some strains that I like. But if you go to the Silent Ambassador on Instagram, you will see the whole new DJC cross project where they cross DJC with a whole bunch of other strains. They did a DJC by DJC. Adam will have to explain to me how something like that happens.
Reverse circle jerk. Yeah.
They called it
with your thumb up your ass at the same time.
Is that going to be on the can next time?
It's me with my thumb up my butt. No, it's called The Whale. So I'm sure it'd be pretty easy to find a graphic for that. Fuck you, Dunn. And but please do. Listen, if you're a fan of the show, you have to know that the only way to keep the lights on is to patronize the sponsors that keep our lights on here. So if you're stopping by 14er, say hello, Ask for the Dunn deal at all the sponsors. Give them a call. Say you heard about it. Some of the companies that we'd love to have on board, Mike Denver, Breckenridge Organic Therapy, if you wanted to give them a call. Some of the Numbnuts guys might be coming on soon. Thank you, Mike, from Cured by Design. They'll be coming on soon. And maybe some data companies coming on to assist with doing some news as data and cannabis becomes commoditized along with hemp. They're going to be standardized pricing and the ability to do transactions within the entire country. So we'll be bringing on some news about that too. And but again, give them a call, stop by their store, buy some of their extraction. Listen, can I guarantee it? No, but go down there. You will not be disappointed. You will not.
Here's a new one.
What are you not guaranteeing?
I can't guarantee. Listen. Every time I try to say guarantee to a stoner, they will go out of their way to say that wasn't the best fire I ever wanted. Give me my money. Well, go fuck you. Just don't buy it anymore. But trust me, go try the Truth, Tropicana, DJC, Kosher Kush, GMO cookies. They did a cross of it. They have a whole bunch of boutique crosses coming out, which may or may not be kept for a while. You really want to go in and try it. It's absolute fire. I took home the Girl Scout cookies last week, and I'm a big fan. Who's new?
New.
Boom. Oh,
Fish shit.
Go back.
Fish shit.
Go back a couple episodes, and you can hear our buddies are from over there in New England.
Tommy at Fish Shit. Tommy packs his car.
Packs his car and squeezes fish all day and squeezes out.
If you're listening, Tommy, call in right now. Say hello, man. But Fish Shit, our newest sponsor. Love these guys.
Loading those diapers on those fish, like you told us about.
Yep.
Yeah, you go back and listen to his
You guys know that, right? That's how they collect the fish shit? No, they have diapers on all their farmed fish, and they wring the diaper out.
Yeah.
But this Fish Shit is giving away 5 liters, which retails for $500.
Yeah.
They're going to be giving it away once a month. We'll figure out a contest.
Cheap, but I'll tell you, I think that's why my beard's so thick right now. Because I used that like 2 times already on my mom's crop, and I was just like, I don't know, maybe you got the vapors or something. I don't know, dude. Everything seemed to grow.
Maybe you're part fish.
It was like, no, just everything. Plants. I mean, it was very noticeable, like to the point where you're like, fuck, that shit is. I mean, it's more of a conditioner. It's not an actual nutrient, so you want to use it in conjunction with something else that you have, but it's fucking nice. Stinks like a motherfucker. Stinks.
Again, their booth was packed with people coming up to them the whole time at Indo Expo.
You stink.
Yeah. You smell like fish shit. What do you do with the diapers? Was the biggest question they got.
Number one question.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they're our newest sponsor, and we really
Sterling Green.
They're tying up hemp diapers on each little fish, right?
Yes, of course it is.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's how we try to explain it to you.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Well, you can read about it at Area 420. They have a conspiracy theory about it right now going up on their blog. Yeah, they're not really fish. They're alien fish.
So go to
good nutrients.
fishshit.com. Check them out.
Fishheadfarms.com.
Oh,
Fishheadfarms.com. Also, Fish Shit or Fishhead Farms on Instagram. Please follow them. They're worthy. Give them a call. Say you heard about them on the Adam Dunn Show. They do have the Dunn deal, which is 25% off.
That's huge. That's huge.
So, right? Isn't that what I said? I don't want to get it wrong. I sent it to you. I'm pretty sure that's it. Don't hold me to it. I'm pretty sure it's 25% off.
Jeez, everything's about don't hold things to him.
I'm a stoner. I don't want to.
Slippery
but come on. I read the 14er thing. I misread it last week, and I kind of gave the price for the live resin and not the rosin. And
got everybody,
I got everybody excited.
Riots?
Mark was going to drive down he lives in fucking Albuquerque the whole way. So,
yeah,
25%, right?
25% off retail.
Yeah, come on. Fish poo doo-doo, Elka.
Done deal.
Buy some. Done deal. You can go to their website, use the promo code, give them a call, ask for it. They're happy to be on board.
Big time.
Yeah, but remember, you got to visit them, and you got to give them a try so we can keep them on board.
Keep them on the hook.
Yeah.
I said I'm going to bed now.
We're done. Play us off.
All right. We're off to James Bean and the.
Oh shit, James
Bean. So God,
I
apologize. I owe you a phone call. You've helped us so much lately with keeping us on schedule and on
task. Which we're not following at all.
Yeah.
We totally abandoned all schedules.
We're trying. You
Dude,
can't teach
I don't know, man. I don't know if you can do a schedule here, especially with Adam.
We're trying. Look at him.
Look at him.
You can't even get him to shave. Jesus Christ.
I'm not going to shave.
Are you taking notes on the sample?
Yeah, I got a little confused.
Okay. Write that down. I got a little confused.
Bro. I'm like, wait a minute. How can I be on that when I'm on that? And then that one. Did I not try that one yet?
Wait, you're doing multiple... Motherfucker. You're not breaking the
rules. I'm using this.
Breaking the rules.
This awesome.
I know. Oh my gosh, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. It was
Holy
this is my mouth cleanser. Like between each one.
Oh, let's get the logo up. But Seeds Here Now. You've been a loyal sponsor for a really long time,
I don't know if that,
and we thank you. We really do. SeedsHereNow.com. Pick up
ad mode right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pick up Sage Master,
after ad mode,
Dunn Loud.
Flip it up there.
I mean, you buy some seeds. You must enter the promo code. You cannot call them up afterwards and say, thank you for those seeds. By the way, can I get the Done Deal credit on the... No. You have to enter it before you order. Place your order. What's the percentage on the Done Deal there? I think it's like 10%, right?
98%.
No.
98%.
See, don't listen to him.
It's a super discount.
No, that's only if you enter Dave's deal. No, the Done Deal, I believe, is 10% off.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Could be
SeedsHereNow.com.
Could be higher.
Here's the beauty
of
Seeds
Here. If you order my
Here.
seeds, I think it's higher.
Is it really?
That's the
Well, of course.
I would hope so.
But the beauty
If
of
not,
Seeds Here
I'll have to make it
Now.
happen. I'll make that happen.
What's the beauty, Adam? They reward the breeder. So they make sure to keep the breeder in the commerce line. So if there's money spent on a seed, the breeder gets a piece of that. And that is something that is really not happening in this industry when you get to distributors right now. They usually just figure out any way to acquire the genetics, they grab it, and they sell it as theirs. That does not happen at Seeds Here Now. They make sure they have little contracts. I'm sure it's something similar to a record contract. You know, we'll have him on and he'll explain how it works, but they get paid their just rewards. And that is, I say bravo. Golf clap, everybody. Golf clap.
Yeah, doing dab.
Doing a dab.
Doing dab.
SeedsHereNow.com.
Seeds Here Now. And also they have a forum on their site. They've got all sorts of, they have a nice tight, they've been through the ringer on the sites and fucking merchant accounts and all those things and battled their way to better every time, and now their shit's like
incredibly discreet shipping, everything. I'm great company to do business with. So if you're into the genetics right now, take a look at their catalog. A lot of fun stuff up there.
And James V, man on the scene, I'm not sure where he's at. He's not on the scene. He's not calling us. But if he wants to call, he can.
Yeah, always.
And extend the show to even longer to make fucking everyone tired. We'll actually get to 9 o'clock and we'll be like, make everyone happy.
Oh, jeez.
No.
9 o'clock, what time zone?
No. Yeah, exactly. We've already got it.
We're past 9 o'clock in the East Coast.
We're past 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Way past. But
SeedsHereNow.com.
Can't forget.
Illuminar.
We have to come up. I think we're supposed to come up with some sort of like.
I love Illuminar.
Exactly.
They light up our day.
Perfect. All right. Let's take one.
That's on the cutting room floor. All right. What do you have?
Oh, I'm not.
No. Nope, not going with it.
Dave is not going for stoners are the worst. We're like none of us want to jump into the mix.
I'll read.
It's okay. We'll do it later. It's
All right.
fine. But what you can
Illuminar.
do is go to illuminarlighting.com. Check out all the stuff they have on deck, which is amazing. Their LEDs are on point. You can get all different kind of setups. You can get the full 8 run, or you can get the individuals. But you can also get the double engines and ceramic metal halides, like the ones we give away every month. Mm-hmm. If you want to get one given away to you because you're like, hey, I need a fucking light, just hit us back with a, could be like what happened to that poem? I thought we had a second poem. Where did that go?
I don't know.
Did I never read that?
I think it's coming.
What?
Didn't we have a second poem at one point? Wasn't there a second?
I don't know.
But you have to go to their Instagram
So it
page.
could be a
You got to
poem.
find out the word
It could
of
be
the
a
month.
couple paragraphs. Could be whatever. But it just tell us why you need a light. I need a light.
Oh, we did have a second poem. Yeah.
Did I never get to hear that?
Yeah, you heard it.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
We read it.
Did we? When they won? No.
No, he was just sent us a poem.
Oh.
No, they won.
They did win?
I don't know.
Oh, dude. How the fuck did we know?
But I just want to say, listen, I've known him a while now, and he believes in Illuminar so much. We've actually turned down sponsor opportunity from other lighting companies who wanted to come on the show.
Down with a
And
stick.
that was the first order of business: is he doesn't take advertising for many other lighting companies because he really believes in this one. They give away a how much?
$3.15.
A $3.15 every month. And so I've been on the show long enough right now that hopefully we'll see the first pictures.
And Mike Denver basically wins them all. He's got a whole
He did
warehouse.
not.
He has a warehouse of them.
Very supportive. He calls in his different names.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Like, who wouldn't think of that? Like, wait a minute, that was so easy.
So listen, you have to go to their Instagram page. You have to get the word of the month. You got to write it into us. You must, ready for this? This is a foreign concept. You must include
a phone number.
A phone number. Like, if we have to be able to get in touch with you. And, ready, this is an even stranger out there concept, David. I don't know if this happens in your world. When we call, like when Mark makes the phone call, you actually have to answer. I mean, that's a rule. You got to answer, right, Mark? I mean, it's...
And you got to know the word of the month.
Word of the month, right? Yeah. But answering and the word of the month are the two things you have to have. Poem is not obligatory, but, it wins points.
Nice. I like poems.
It works. It works really well.
Poems help.
Maybe try a haiku this time.
Haiku.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or a manifesto if you feel like it.
Oh, yeah, that's good
the
too.
Joker. Be like, hey. We'll be like, oh, shit, this guy's going off.
We could say if we don't like your poem, you don't win the lamp, you get the ruby pearl balls or something like that, and then you get the fish shitter, look at that. See, all the reason why, and you know what? I apologize for forgetting to mention this, but one of the first people to send in some technology to us when I first joined the show were our friends at Electric. They sent us a quartz electronic e-nail. I don't remember what the retail price is, but it's a fantastic product. It dabs really well, and pretty much Adam's adopted it for his little home rig. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Yeah. No, we turned him off because of that torch was on right there.
Torch, sorry.
Yeah, I was just...
Yeah, all the reasons. He made me realize why I reached out to my friends at Electric for an email so that we would never have to hear that torch sound.
Never again.
Never again. Bad optics.
Evil torch.
I understand the young kids
Boomer.
these days love
Fucking
their
boomers.
fucking torches. Never again. But Illuminar, look them up on Instagram at Illuminar. Great company. Great company.
And look for the word of the month and know that when we call you because that's also it's like a fucking it's so complicated. The fact that people win shocks me sometimes.
It's
not that complicated.
We try hard to give the light away, the lamp. So please, just look it up.
And do we have anybody else? Anybody extra throw-ins?
Well,
Yes, we do.
Ruby Pearl Co.
Yes, we do.
Cured by Design. I'm hoping you guys will come on. I'm hoping we'll be able to announce cannabis benchmarks and hemp benchmarks next week.
We have also, obviously, we got Area 420. Where can people check that out? Jump on the mic there, Mike. Jump on the mic, Mike.
Yeah.
Jump on the mic.
You can go to ColoradoArea420.com and check us out.
Give me Stone Cold's cap right there. And
oh, yeah.
Really, if you guys haven't gone to Instagram and looked at Stone Cold Solventless
and pretended
page,
like you're smoking this.
Believe me, you would love to be smoking this GMO right now. It is. There we go. So check it out. Please give them a reach out. They have a fire Instagram page. I don't like to repost other people's stuff on Instagram that much, but I never turn down the opportunity to.
Show the jar. Show what's in there.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, this is a different jar. Here we go. I showed it earlier.
There you go.
I mean, holy jeez.
Yeah.
I just took the cap off, and the whole room reeks right now, right? I mean, really. Give them a look-see, please. I don't think we have a done deal going, but
I'm sure if you actually somehow manage to pull it off, done deal would it would happen.
Give them a
magically.
look. I mean, they're really. I am trying not to be surprised at how we'll call it like post squish. Like what you're doing goes back to something my son said to me. He's like, Dad, we harvest the plant. There's like 47 ways somebody can fuck this plant up before it gets sold. I'm thinking of all the post ways that they are turned. I mean, this is not the rosin I remember from my first cannabis cup when what was it? The 2013 is when we first saw rosin coming out. It was at the Cannabis Cup in Denver. I think Nicholas Tannen had just had squished some. And it was fire, but it doesn't
Come a long way.
this is just.
It takes a lot further now.
Yeah, I mean it's where I want to start asking questions, but I know it's like asking Coca-Cola how they make Coca-Cola. They're not going to give that shit up.
I look at you like, what are you?
What are you trying to rip me off? You're one of those other people who are going to take my idea and make a lot of money off and send you a check afterwards. Happens all the time.
And obviously, THC magazine is just THC mag. Oh no, it's HC.
magazine.
I know it's so confusing. No, you can go to you can actually go to thcmag.com and it'll pop up. But we kind of go under HC magazine now. And then our monocle man looks like a T, so it's kind of like we're still look like THC. It's just that was done.
Wait, a couple of others
accidental on purpose. Instagram we're at Hemp Connoisseur. And same thing for Twitter and Facebook.
Maybe you'll call back in and help us do news every now and then.
We may do that. We may have to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Something like that, since the current news guy's not very good at it.
Well, no, you're doing great, man. No, but yeah, we also have an app you can download on iOS systems or Android, which has kind of everything on our website and our podcasts and videos as well.
Maybe we can do a giveaway for a couple of tickets to your reveal party.
Oh yeah, we can absolutely do that, man. We're gonna have our awards party. We're probably looking at one of the first 2 weekends in May. We'll figure it out now that we've delayed it. But yeah, we can do that. Absolutely.
We'll include it in our monthly giveaway.
Sure,
Mike Denver's gonna love to come.
Absolutely, making you can do free subscription for the print version to be mailed to their home.
10% off a free subscription.
10% off a free subscription.
That shit, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll do that. Sure.
And obviously, if you want to harass Dave, it's pretty much easy. You can find him on Instagram.
You can find me at the Cannabis Experience, or it's just Cannabis Experience. And you can send me an email if you'd like to sponsor the show at Dave at AdamDunn.show.
Now you have your own email. You're somebody.
No, is it Dave or DJC?
DJC.
Yeah,
dude,
DJC. DJC at Adam Dunn Show. We can talk about sponsorship opportunities.
Right after he said that, too.
Yeah. Cut him out. Cut him out. Yeah, DJC.
There we go.
At Adam Dunn Show. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Cece, and little Nick, who is, I guess his phone that I got him this little fucking phone thingy deal. And
I got a Rella phone, too.
Started going off in school or something, and they called me up like, well, it's on S. I don't know, something weird. It's a classic, fucking Android.
No, I got an iPhone so I can watch where she is online and shit like that. And I can turn off certain stuff during the day so she can't be texting friends during school time.
They can get past all that, dude. You're basically teaching her to be a hacker.
Right.
Hey, life skill.
And she got past all my fucking security things, and she's on day one.
Well, and thank you for the photo up there. You've given Heather the cake on there, so you can go to RTE Cakes if you want a cake. Mm-hmm. But she made that Yoda cake for us a couple of weeks ago. It was pretty good. Maybe you guys will have maybe you need a cake for the big.
A cake.
You don't even know what these look like.
300 people. Let's do this.
What are you talking about? Not a problem.
You need a cake. You need a cake. You need a cake.
Everybody needs a cake.
Everybody needs a fucking cake. No one's leaving without getting a cake. Sign the contract.
That's exactly it. And maybe we'll get Pinochle in a week.
I think the most expensive cake was $30,000. So.
I don't know
I think 20,000 is going to work if you sign right here.
Yep. You will add you to the list of people.
They cut open the cake and real birds fly out of that cake.
They do, man.
Exactly. Yeah. And I guess because there's only 100 and so many people in town, we could reduce the price on that one. So
maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We'll give a reduction. And little Nick, who's been organizing his Legos. He's got 4 billion.
Stepped on any yet?
Oh my God, all the time, dude.
Yeah, terrible.
In the bathroom yesterday, I was like, "Fuck!" It's like picture perfect. I was like, "Is that really a Lego?" I was like, "Yeah, of course it is." Of course it is. Shout out to Ace down at the farm and the crew down there that helped.
Shout out to Carta and to Puffco, Kevin Puffco, the Dab Rig, Focus V Products, Never Dead brand, Scope and Stack, Terp Wipes. Mm-hmm. Guys, got to get on board, man. Come on.
Terp wipes. I don't know.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah. Little alcohol pads.
You should do your head with it. You should definitely during the show. You
Shut the fuck. No, but who wants advertising right here?
Terp wipe guys. They want to see it. They want to see. That would be terp wipe advertising.
What we do is write something different. Use the terp wipes. And that'll show how good they are.
Okay, you're not invited back anymore.
Can we just Photoshop?
David's not invited back.
Photoshop something on his head. Jesus, hurry up.
Yeah. We'll work on that for next week.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks to Chat Gang. Thanks, everybody. See you next week. And thanks to Cultivated Synergy for using the spot, of course.
Yes.
We have moved to a bigger room. We're upscaled.
Yep.
This room's not bad. Once it's cooled down a little bit.
Check out the Dungle's live tour on YouTube.
Dungle's, yeah. And as promised, by next week, I'm going to have at least 10 minutes of Dungle fucking some action. Dungle action going on. So
we'll hope by next week, or at least
by
the time we get back from some other
I'm
places.
not using no excuses. Got to do it. Doing it next week. And
Cool.
I see 10 minutes of bullshit. I can do it.
Shit. Kidding me?
Send me anything you got that you want to see in the Dungle fucking loop. The Dungle loop.
Mm-hmm.
The Dungle loop.
The Dungle loop.
The Dungle loop.
We just gotta be careful about copyright stuff. You know?
The Dungle loop, yep. I can already
It's
hear
the YouTube stuff.
All right.
With Gilligan.
We gotta be careful about copyright stuff. We can't just be playing like meme videos. And stuff.
We'll like.
Thank you, lawyer Mark.
We'll zoom in and we'll make it all fuzzy, so you won't be able to tell what it is.
Okay.
Really hard. They'll be like, I don't know.
I think the audio is gonna be more of the problem.
God. Stop talking about problems.
Okay,
right. Have a great week, everybody.
Send me shit that you did yourself.
Yeah.
No
copyright
like
stuff.
Picture memes will be good. Yeah.
Leave your fucking lawyer at home.
We can just put it on.
All right. Anything that's legally allowed to be shown. Throw it.
Fuck. Well.
Thank you, guys.
Not be on YouTube.
All right.
YouTube. It's great. See you later.
See ya.
Peace.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.